Hello, good evening, and welcome to Henley High School, where for the first time in almost a month, Hornets basketball is back home against Mazama. Alongside Josh Eldredge, I am Matt Bowling, and we are just about ready to get underway here in the girls' game. Starting lineups being introduced now for Mazama. It's Kaylin Davis, Armida Kirkpatrick, Shakyla Jackson, Addie Byington, and Leah Hernandez. For Henley, it's Annie Campos, Preston Shade, Anna Harper, Lily Fassell, and Jewel Northcutt. So more or less the usual suspects for the Hornets, who come into this game 13-0. It's their best start since the 2014-15 season, when they won their first 22 games en route to a state championship game appearance. Hornets opened Skyline Conference play at Hidden Valley on Tuesday. They won 67-33, recorded a total of 36 steals. Josh, that's usually a pretty good night when you have more steals than points allowed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not that exact, maybe not that dramatic, but that's what this Henley team is known for: stealing the basketball, creating havoc for the other team's offense. And if they were able to do that tonight, they put themselves in good position to grab a win on this home court on Military Appreciation Night.
Meanwhile, you look at Mazama, which just a few years ago was one of the area's top programs. Tonight, they come in 1-13. 0-1 in Skyline Conference play. They won their season opener against 3A La Pine, so they come in on a 13-game losing streak, including a 44-13 loss to Phoenix in their Skyline Conference opener on Tuesday. It's Lily Fassell against Addie Byington in for the tip-off. And right away we've got they're going to make them redo it. Once again, Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldredge, bringing you Skyline Conference basketball. Southside Showdown, Henley versus Mazama.
Great rivalry matchup between two Klamath County schools. Always a momentous occasion as the Hornets control the opening tip.
And Modine immediately pulls a three that goes in and out. And it's rebounded by Kirkpatrick. And they dish it to Hernandez. Hernandez's pass intercepted by Fassell. We said that a lot on Tuesday night, as she finished with 7 steals. And Annie Campos is fouled on the putback attempt. It's on Leah Hernandez. That is her first, and the first on the Vikings. Annie Campos connects on the first free throw. And the second. So Hornets get on the board courtesy of 2 free throws, and Fassell intercepts the inbound, but can't send it over to a teammate. It's taken away by Davis. Davis over to Jackson. Jackson tries to throw it into the paint, but it's off target, out of bounds, and back to the Hornets. Here comes Preston Shade, now to Modine. Back up top to Shade. Over to Fassell. Campos, Annie Campos weaving her way through the defense, but can't finish underneath. Tie up on the rebound. And the possession arrow points to Mazama.
It's a great take by Annie, a nice step to the rim. The Hornets almost controlled the offensive glass to a decent possession, even though it didn't wind up in points.
As we mentioned, this is the second game in 3 nights for both teams, as there's a 5-second violation on the inbound. Henley didn't play for about 2 weeks due to some weather cancellations. Well, they wasted very little time getting back to their usual form against Hidden Valley. Fassell connects on a 3. 5-0 Henley. 6:45 to go in the first quarter. Inbound taken away by Annie Campos. Nice bounce pass to Modine, who gets it to roll in. Nearly taken away again on the inbound. Facel gets her hand in there but can't finish the steal. Hernandez able to bring it up. Gets it over to Jackson. Now Byington. Byington into the paint. Jackson too strong with it. Modine pulls up. Misses. Rebound Facel. The putback won't go either. Northcutt fights for the rebound but loses it. Hernandez. Kirkpatrick trying to drive, loses the ball. Taken away by Modine. Modine trying to go coast to coast, but she's hacked on the way up, and will go to the line for two. Nine points and 3 steals against Hidden Valley on Tuesday for Kennedy Modine. Connects on her first free throw. So already well on her way to surpassing that total. Second one goes too. 9-0 Hornets, 5:47 to go in the first, and still aggressive on the inbound, but it'll stay with Mazama.
So Hornets are jumping all over the Vikings early, so much so that Mazama's going to take a very early timeout here with 5:46 in the first.
9-0 lead for Henley. We'll be right back.
Sports was kind of defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
5:46 to go in the first quarter here at the Hornets' Nest, and Henley racing out to a 9-0 lead. Mazama struggling just to inbound the ball at times, and they almost turn it over there. Kaylin Davis throws it to Jackson. Pass tipped into the hands of Lily Facel. Facel in traffic, layup won't drop, but she gets it back on a turnover and is fouled. That'll be the 3rd foul of the quarter on the Vikings. It's on Armida Kirkpatrick. That's her first. Maya Mock and Senya Campos will check in for Kennedy Modine and Lily Facel. Senya to inbound to Annie. Annie driving baseline, tried the scoop shot. That one would not fall. Oh, a little aggressive there underneath, fighting for the rebound. Mazama was. And that'll earn him a foul. It's on Addie Byington. That's her second.
Hornets already just 1 foul away from the bonus, and there's lots of time left in this first quarter. They've done a good job of hitting their free throws so far. That's something to keep track of.
In the corner, Shade misses the 3, rebounded by Mock. Loose ball. Almost trips up somebody walking along the court side. And it'll stay with Henley. Quickly inbounded to Shade. She drives and misses. There to clean it up, or try to clean it up, was Annie Campos. Couldn't connect. Emerges from a crowd with it. Nice dish underneath from Northcutt to Mock, and Maya Mock is in the scorebook. Some great passes early on for the Hornets. Struggling to get it out of the backcourt is Hernandez. She's guarded by Annie Campos. Now able to get it over to Shaquila Jackson. Jackson guarded by Mock, and Mock commits the foul. And that'll be the first of the game on Henley. Hornets up 11-0, 4:34 to go in the first quarter as Modine checks back in for Annie Campos. Modine with 4 points so far for Henley as Randy Denson gets in another quick sub. It's Bailey Ladner on for Jewel Northcutt. Inbound, taken away by Ladner. There's Modine. Modine fouled on the drive. And that is the 5th foul this quarter on the Vikings, so Henley will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Modine misses her first free throw. Second one won't go either. She gets the miss, though, and puts it in. So that about evens it out. 13-0 Henley. Intercepted by Senya Campos. Senya. Wow. Nice move there by Senya Campos. And it has been all Henley so far. 15-0 Hornets. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. This is Davis. Jackson. Slazak. Hernandez. Open three for Jackson, and she connects. Mazama is on the board. Campos with a great feed underneath to Ladner, who finishes through traffic. Already 6 different players in the scorebook for Henley. A little bit of friendly fire as Modine ran into Ladner, who was guarding the inbound. Results in an airballed 3 on the other end by Slazak. Loose ball on the floor. Modine goes down for it. And the tie-up results in a Henley possession. Lily Fussell in along with Meredith Brown. Annie Campos. Fussell. Pulls up. Swish. A little bit of a good roll off the backside of the front rim. And a turnover on the inbound. Nice dish by Fussell to Ladner. And Bailey Ladner has her second bucket of the night. They send the inbound off her shin. Don't imagine that felt great, but she seems all right. 21-3 lead for Henley. 2:31 to go in the first quarter. Davis. Guarded by Ladner. Jackson. Slazak. Trying to drive. Kicks it to Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick chucks one up and comes up well short. It was last touched by Henley, though, so it'll stay with the Vikings. Kirkpatrick to inbound. And it's taken away. Annie Campos. Tried to pass it to a wide open Senya Campos, but this was just a little too tall for her little sister. Kirkpatrick commits another 5-second violation. That's the second one Henley has forced here in the first quarter.
Henley's been able to do whatever they want to so far, whether it be on defense or offense as well. Mazama is not doing a great job of pressuring the basketball, and Henley's taking advantage.
open three for Senya Campos. Misses off the back of the rim. Tipped out of bounds. It's Vikings ball.
On the contrary, you'll see it on this possession. Henley's doing nothing except for pressuring the basketball. Mazama's had one heck of a time trying to get the ball up the floor, and then once they do, they haven't really been able to get a shot off.
They throw it off of Fussell. Good strategy if nobody's open to buy yourself an extra 5 seconds. Although there it's intercepted by Fussell. She hands it to Annie Campos, who is fouled. Good time for a shameless plug, Josh. We were happy to have her on our Ballin' in the Basin show last night, first episode.
Yeah, Annie was live in studio with us. Sported the green swag that they've got for Military Appreciation Night. And, I mean, what a fine young lady. Great answers to all the questions. She was candid and just a great first guest on our first show of the season. It should be a lot of fun moving forward, and great to have Annie on the pilot.
We also got to sit down with new Mazama football coach Orlin Culp, as Annie Campos goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
Just one more thing about that show, Matt. If anyone missed the show last night, you'd like to go back and hear either of those interviews, they are on our website, mybasin.com. Full uncut versions of both of those interviews available to listen.
Campos can't finish coast to coast. Northcutt, Senya Campos, takes a shot underneath, and she will shoot some more free throws. Well, the Vikings have a fairly deep bench. They've got 12 players dressed out tonight. So if foul trouble does become a factor, and Senya Campos goes 1 for 2. As Maya Mock checks in for her. And Mazama takes another timeout. 1:43 left in the friendly, up 23-3. I'm Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldredge. You're watching Henley Basketball on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed. And breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
It has been all Henley here in the opening quarter. Hornets out to a 20-point lead. And I'll tell you what, this scoreline just a few seasons ago would have been almost inconceivable to see the Mazama girls basketball team getting beaten this badly. I mean, Joy Lease had this Vikings program just clicking in 12 seasons. And they went 212-89, made several deep runs at the state tournament, including winning the state championship in 2013. Of course, Joy Lease, as all locals know, left the program to take a job as the top assistant for the Oregon Tech women last season and was named head coach this season. And she's got the Lady Owls humming just like the Vikings used to.
It's a proper step up for Coach Lease. She's done a great job up at Oregon Tech. Now it's time for this Vikings program to rebuild. They have all the tools to become a great program again. The Skyline Conference is in a state of flux right now. You know, 2 nights ago at Hidden Valley, they used to be a powerhouse. Now we see these Mazama Vikings in a bit of a rebuild as well. And the Hornets have started to peak at the right time.
Kaylin Davis with the second basket of the night for the Vikings. And it's tough, though. They're on their third head coach in as many seasons. Mindy Holbrook spent the previous 2 years as an assistant and inherits a group that's very young. 1 senior, 3 juniors, 6 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. So there is a foundation.
You got to start somewhere, and again, for a rebuilding program, to have that many young players is a positive thing overall. Exactly like you said, it's a foundation moving forward.
Well, great coaches are hard to replace, no matter how you slice it. I think that's something Alabama football is about to find out, and that's something that Mazama basketball is finding out. Joy Lease, I mean, in a way, what we're seeing right now from Mazama is a testament to how great of a coach she is and was for them. And, I mean, look, she's already got the Oregon Tech women back really on the national stage.
There's been a lot of turnover at Mazama in a lot of different aspects. Not only this women's basketball team, the men's basketball team has had a couple of head coaching changes over the past 4 years. We obviously know the football program is going to be under a new head coach next year. A lot of change coming to Mazama High School.
Yeah, speaking of football, if you didn't catch our interview with Orlin Culp or with Annie Campos last night, you can listen to them both on mybasin.com. We uploaded them. As there is another 5-second violation called against Mazama. I think that's the third this quarter.
Applying a lot of pressure. Again, kind of talked about it Tuesday night when these Hornets were at Hidden Valley, how frustrating of a team they must be to play against, because they are just always in the way, ruining things for the opposing offense. And, I mean, it just has to be so frustrating to be draped over by Lily Fassell, then have to body up Annie Campos in the paint. You got to deal with Northcutt on the glass. I mean, they're just such a bothersome team. It's why they've been so productive.
Hernandez to inbound, and it is recovered by Slazak. Tipped out into the Vikings bench. It'll stay with Mazama. Mock pressuring in the backcourt. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Henley up 23-5. Jackson. Slazak. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and it's intercepted by Mock. Maya Mock too strong on the finish, rebounded by Shade, excuse me. Fassell was in there too. Preston Shade is the recipient of the foul, though, and she will head to the free throw line. Great game on Tuesday against Hidden Valley. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 6 steals, and 4 assists. The only freshman on this Henley team. She has had a great start to her high school career.
We've talked about her a lot on each of these broadcasts. I remember visiting with Coach Denson and his assistant, Coach Petrick, down there, who'll be joining us for the boys' game in a little while. But talking about Preston Shade, they were really excited to bring her along. They thought they might have to bring her along a little bit slower than they have. But she has burst onto the scene and become a very productive member of the starting lineup this year for the Hornets.
She's a great athlete, all-around athlete, too. She was, and there's the fourth 5-second violation of the quarter forced by Henley. What I was getting ready to say is Preston Shade, just a great athlete. She was also first-team all-league for Henley girls soccer this fall. Helped the Hornets win their first Skyline Conference title since 2014. It's going to be a household name for the Hornets over the next few years. Hernandez inbounding. Throws it over the head of Slazak. She's able to recover it. 18 seconds to go. Thrown up and in by Aurora Garcia. Fassell. 6 seconds to go. Fassell puts it up. It misses. Rebounded by Kennel. Taken away by Mock, but she's unable to get the shot off. And that will do it for the first quarter. Henley 25, Mazama 7.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely. seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
25-7 lead for Henley over Mazama as we start the second quarter here at the Hornets' Nest. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldredge. 7 different players have already scored for Henley. They're led by Kennedy Modine with 6 points.
This is going to be a good night for Henley. They've jumped out to a substantial lead. Still a lot of basketball left to be played, but a great opportunity to get some of the players who don't see too much playing time in the game tonight, especially when I've noticed Anna Harper is on the bench down there in street clothes. An extra rotation player in the lineup tonight for the Hornets has been, Bailey Ladner, and we've also saw Meredith Brown earlier. So it's good to see some of these players who don't often get playing time on the hardwood tonight.
No doubt about it. Senya Campos with a nice bucket underneath to get it back to a 20-point lead for Henley. Hernandez to Jackson. Pass off target and out of bounds. Preston Shade over to Modine. Senya Campos. Throws it down to Ladner. Ladner's pass is tipped. Well, looked like it was tipped, but the referee says Mazama ball. And he just missed his buddy there trying to throw it to him. Hernandez pulls a 3 and connects. Modine can't answer on the other end. Rebound is chased down by Garcia. Hernandez. Slazak. Hernandez. Back to Slazak. 12 seconds on the shot clock. And Slazak is called for a charge. Kennedy Modine laying out to draw that one.
It's been a physical game so far. We've seen some good screens set from both teams. Henley's won the battle so far on the glass, but Mazama is physical underneath, and it's been the story so far.
4 subs getting ready to check in for the Hornets as Senya Campos misses a 3. Rebounded by Garcia and pressured in front of the scorer's table. It's going to be Mock, Northcutt, Annie Campos, and Lily Fassell back in as Shade, Modine, Ladner, and Meredith Brown come to the bench. This is another great part of a game like this. It gives Randy Denson a chance to kind of play around and maybe experiment with some different lineups.
Yeah, right now, I suppose you could include Northcutt in this as well, but she's really the only true big on the floor right now. Even Annie Campos plays more of a point forward type position, so a lot of guard play out there on the floor right now.
Stolen by Northcutt on the inbound. Northcutt trying to go coast to coast and does. She's the 8th different player to score for Henley so far, as Mazama with a miscue there on the inbound. 29-10, Hornets lead, 5:27 to go in the first half. Fasell too long on the three. Senya Campos up to Northcutt, misses the pull-up, rebounded by Mock. Mock through traffic, can't get the shot to fall, and a tie-up on the inbound. It's Henley ball. Annie Campos spins, feeds Mock, who's bumped, and we'll go to the free throw line.
It's a good find by Campos that led to the foul by Mock there, spinning around, finding an open player, and Henley's done a great job of that. Interior passing has looked really strong tonight.
Annie Campos especially, she's averaging 4.6 assists this season. That's 6th in the entire state.
She was an all-state basketball player last year, too, in her junior season. Conference Player of the Year, if I recall, as well. And, yeah, on to another great season. A couple games into league play.
Preston Shade checking in for Senya Campos as Maya Mock misses the first free throw. Oh for 2. So it remains a 29-10 lead for Henley. 5:05 to go in the half. Almost intercepted by Northcutt. Slazak is forced to retreat near the mid-court line. Able to get it over to Davis. Now Hernandez.
Henley's defense is so extended on that play for the interception for Mock.
There you go. You talk about the defense, and there they are. Maya Mock. A pick 2, as it were. And that forces another Mazama timeout. And we'll go ahead and keep it here. It's only 30.
And the point I was making is when Mazama comes up the floor, Henley's defense is not sitting back. They will transition into a zone from time to time. They are not doing that at all tonight. They're playing man defense. They are guarding players beyond the perimeter, and they are giving Mazama fits just even trying to get the ball inside the paint. Mazama's hit a couple of triples in this first half. They've made a couple of buckets, but, I mean, Henley's defense has just swatted them completely out of the paint so far tonight.
4:40 to go. It's a 21-point lead for the Hornets. They got to reach 30 to get to a running clock. And I think that'll only take effect in the second half. Jackson has it wrestled away from her by Shade. Shade with a clear path to the basket and a nice floater. Almost stolen by Fasell. Almost stolen again.
Talk about the activity from Fasell. I don't know exactly what the number is right now, but I know heading into league play, she was averaging about 7 steals per game. And, I mean, you're seeing why they're basically almost collecting 2 on that possession alone.
She did get called for a foul after Jewel Northcutt's attempt to draw a charge. Did not work. Slazak goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Fasell traveled. Already a good crowd starting to file in here at Henley. We got the boys game coming up after this one. Henley student section already a few rows deep, which is always good to see.
Mentioned it once already tonight, but it's Military Appreciation Night here at Henley High School. So if you're a veteran or current military and you're thinking about coming out, you get in for free. You and your immediate family, you get a free item at the concession stand. Frankly, even if you're not active or retired military and you want something to do tonight, it should be a great atmosphere for the boys' game coming up in just a bit. So come on out to Henley High School. Should be a fun night of hoops.
Yeah, all of these Klamath Falls games are always great times. Whether it's the Canal Bowl, Henley Mazama, Henley KU, I mean, nothing like a good intercity rivalry. Or intra-city rivalry, I guess. .3:15 to go in the first half. It's a 33-11 lead for the Hornets. Slazak. Turnover, but given back. Hernandez with an open lane, and she's fouled by Mock. So Leah Hernandez, one of those three freshmen on this Mazama team, will head to the line. She hit a three earlier. Those are her only points of the night so far. And she misses the first free throw.
That was Mock's third foul. She goes to the bench. I think overall a good foul for her to take, though. Don't want to give Hernandez a free look at the cup there, make her hit her free throws, which she missed both of them.
Rebound corralled by Annie Campos. Modine. Nice find to Northcutt, although it may not have been entirely intentional. She missed the shot and committed a foul on the rebound. Senya Campos back in for the Hornets. Pass almost intercepted by Preston Shade. Kaylin Davis will inbound in front of the Henley bench. It's tipped by Fassell, but into the arms of Hernandez, but she double dribbled. Annie Campos, turnaround, won't fall. Hernandez the other way. Hernandez chucks one up. It's tipped and comes to Senya Campos. Senya Campos with space feeds Fassell, who can't hit the turnaround. Bailey Ladner checking, or about to check back in for Henley, as Shade is called for a foul. It's her first. Fourth of the game on Henley, or fourth of the quarter, excuse me. Shade tips the inbound into the arms of Ladner, who gives it back to her for a nice finish.
Great two-man game there between Ladner and Shade. A nice bounce pass after the steal leads to 2 points.
Henley goes up 35-11, a minute and a half to go in the first half. Driving and getting fouled is Hannah Iacomelli. And it's the first foul called on Senya Campos. Iacomelli hits the first free throw. Aurora Garcia and Lily Kennel have checked in for the Vikings. as Giacomelli gets set for her second free throw. And she makes them both. Senya Campos underneath. Sends it up to Modine. Modine with a risky pass to Ladner. It's a loose ball recovered by Senya Campos. She's pushed out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Hornets. Modine in the corner. Up to Ladner. Senya Campos. Campos finds a lane, gets bumped. It's on the ground.
I think the near official overruled the call under the bucket, so that's going to be a shooting foul.
That he did. Senya Campos, who had 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals on Tuesday against Hidden Valley. Now they've changed it back. It's on the floor. Senya Campos up top. Gets past a defender, finds a lane, and finishes. Hernandez, 48 seconds to go in the first half. Hernandez throws it up, it's short. And back to Henley, 37 seconds to go in the first half. About a 1 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. So Henley can effectively hold for the last shot. Vassell. Shade. Back to Vassell. She'll drive on the baseline. And she gets fouled. That's the 5th of the quarter on Mazama, so it should be a shooting foul. We'll see how long it takes the officials to realize this. Not long. It is a new rule, so we've had some officials not realize that that it's been reached. We've seen that happen in a few games this season. As Vassell makes the first free throw. Two for two. Henley up 26, 14 seconds to go. Pass almost intercepted. Hernandez, 7 seconds. Mazama's got to get something going. 5 seconds, Hernandez traveled. So Henley can take one more shot. 3.3 seconds on the clock.
Watch Senya in that far corner.
It is Senya Campos, and she misses the buzzer beater. 39-13, Henley at halftime. Henley girls well on their way to 14-0. We'll have halftime scoring when we come back here on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
39-13, Henley over Mazama here at halftime. Not really much to discuss. It has been more or less an absolute clinic for the Hornets so far. You see the boys teams warming up down there on the court. They will be playing right after this. You can feel the crowd starting to build, the anticipation starting to grow. Both student sections are pretty well filled out. The Mazama student section is down on the kind of in the left corner on the near side to our left in the corner, and Henley is in their usual spot on the right side, our right side baseline. Henley band is also here, and they just played a song while we were in commercial, so we're queuing up another one. I think we're going to need them to provide some entertainment here in the second half, as this girls' game is well out of hand, but not at all unexpected. I mean, this is a matchup between the number one team in 4A, according to the OSA computer rankings, and the dead last place team in 4A, according to those rankings. So
yeah, we've talked about it. Mazama's in a little bit of a rebuild year. Almost polar opposites in terms of the record too. Henley's 13-0, Mazama's 1-13. It just frankly is a mismatch tonight. Henley's taken advantage of the things that they're supposed to. They've passed the ball really well. They've been bothersome on defense. I'm curious, if anything, what Randy Denson has to say. Just take care of the basketball. Don't get a little bit overzealous. Don't play out of yourself. That was what we talked about coming in. If Henley can just play within themselves, they'll take care of business tonight, and they'll move on. And I hope that they continue to do so in the second half, because that first half was about as good as we've seen them, really.
Yeah, for sure. They're on pace for 78 points, really firing on all cylinders. Honestly, if I were in Randy Denson's position, pretty much the only thing I would say was, let's push this to the running clock margin, 30 points, and just wrap it up. Yeah,
and I hope to see some more of Henley's kind of, deeper bench players. I'd like to see some more of Meredith Brown and, Bailey Ladner. I'd like to see their guards. Kennedy Modine has played well in this first half. Would like to see more of her in the second half. And like you said, in that second quarter, it's an opportunity for Coach Denson to play around with different lineups. Right now, the Hornets are healthy, it seems, for the most part. But God forbid something were to happen, it's an opportunity for him to see who can sub in, who can play where. It's been a good night tonight so far for the Henley Hornets. Still a boys' game to go. It's Military Appreciation Night tonight. Current and former military get in for free. We've seen plenty of veterans come in and enjoy the festivities, free things from the concession stand. We'll have the color guard between games. It's a special night here at Henley High School.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But going back to what you said about the bench, Josh.
Yeah.
You look at the scoring. 8 different players have scored for Henley, and it's pretty even across the board. Lily Fassell and Senya Campos both have 7 points. Kennedy Modine and Preston Shade both have 6 points. Bailey Ladner and Maya Mock both have 4 points. Annie Campos has 3 points, all coming from the free throw line, and Jewel Northcutt has 2. For Mazama, it's Leah Hernandez with 3 points, alongside Shakila Jackson also with 3 points. 2 points each from Kaylin Davis, Hannah Yacomelli, and Aurora Garcia, as well as 1 free throw from Addison Slazak. So Vikings kind of spreading it around too, or at least trying to. That's 6 different scores for Mazama, so again, rebuild. You're going to take your licks, and they are certainly taking their licks tonight. But they're fighting through it. They're sharing the ball, which is what you want to see from a young team.
What I will say is when they get an opportunity to shoot the ball looks good coming out of their hands. They've made a couple of triples. It's just a matter of getting to the point of creating an open shot, and Henley has just denied most every opportunity at an open shot from Mazama tonight.
Just under 3.5 minutes to go. Henley girls already back out onto the court, warming up. Mazama girls still in the locker room. One side clearly with a lot more to discuss than the other, which has been the case for many of Henley's games this season.
Well, in talking to Coach Denson, I know you've done a lot of discussion with him. He says he doesn't have to tell these girls much, and maybe even less so tonight. This team is so player-driven with seniors like Campos and Harper as well, even though she's in street clothes tonight. Finish. That's all you can really say at halftime.
Right, and that's another thing we talked about with Annie Campos last night on Ballin' in the Basin. These a lot of these players, especially a lot of these upperclassmen, they've been playing together for years, so it's a very cohesive unit. It's they're well in tune with each other, and it's easy when you have that to really have a player-led team, and those are the teams that usually end up being the most successful.
Friendship and sisterhood, sometimes in the figurative sense, sometimes in the literal sense for the Henley Hornets. They're a fun bunch to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now just over 2 minutes to go until the start of the second half. We'll take one more. Henley 39, Mazama 13, heading into the third quarter. I'm Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldredge. This is Henley Basketball on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clownful Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clownful.
Well, they cut halftime a little short on us. So Henley starting with the ball. It's Shade. Senya Campos tried to throw it to Lily Fassell, but it bounced off the rim. It'll stay with Henley. Fassell throws it down low to Modine, who lays it in. Those are her first points since the first quarter. Gets her to 8, and it gets Henley to a 41-13 lead. Pass tipped away by Annie Campos. Still aggressive on defense. And it'll stay with Mazama.
Get a good picture and a look now at what the Henley student section looks like. And that's only going to continue to grow bigger and louder throughout the night.
It's nice to see students showing up for the girls' game. And you don't see that at a lot of schools, unfortunately.
The Henley student section here in the Hornets' Nest was credited, I want to say about 8 years ago as the best student section in the state, according to the OSAA. They call themselves Cowbell City, and they get rowdy.
That bucket by Senya Campos gets us to the 30-point margin, so we should have a running clock the rest of the way. Stolen by Annie Campos. Floats it over to Fassell, who can't finish the layup. Byington over to Hernandez. Hernandez throws it up with Annie Campos in her face and comes up well short. Rebounded by Shade, who feeds Facel. Again, too strong on the layup on the other end. That's perhaps the only thing that Henley hasn't been dominating tonight. They've missed several shots from kind of point-blank range.
I, on occasion, subscribe to the theory of being too wide open. It's bit the Hornets a couple of times.
Shade with a nice feed to Senya Campos, who's fouled on the shot. Now, an area where they have been excelling is passes into the paint. I mean, you've seen some dimes tonight. And just like the scoring, it's been from multiple players, too. This is a team that really shares the ball well.
Great court vision from their guards. I mean, the freshman Preston Shade has great vision. Obviously, we know what Annie's capable of. Her sister Senya has inherited that as well. Just fantastic vision from almost every player for the Hornets.
Free throw missed, rebounded by Annie Campos, who can't find the putback. Clock did stop on those free throws. So does it only take effect in the fourth quarter?
We saw a similar situation at Hidden Valley on Tuesday, wherein the clock didn't stop for those it stopped for free throws. So I'm not exactly sure what the ruling is on the running clock.
Modine, another great dish to Facel, and this time she sinks it. 46-13, Henley leads. 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Hernandez stolen by Campos, Annie Campos that is, and it's an easy layup for her. Yeah, we mentioned, she was guest on our show last night. So, if you're an athletic director or a coach and you have a coach or an athlete that you think deserves a spot on our show, deserves a bit of the spotlight, reach out to us. We're going to be doing this every week, and we are actively looking for guests.
Doesn't just have to be basketball or the bread and butter sports, Olympic sports, swimming, wrestling, track and field, bowling. I don't know if that's in the Olympics, but we want all of it.
It is not in the Olympics.
Well, maybe it should be.
Yeah. I'd watch. And it doesn't have to just be basketball either. I didn't mean to say that. I mean, it doesn't just have to be superstars either. People who are putting up big numbers, or even if it's something sports related. I mean, we'd love to hear athletes hear about athletes doing cool stuff outside of their sports. So if you've got somebody in mind that fits that description, hit us up. We want to get the whole basin really involved with this.
It's a fun project.
Henley, Mazama, Klamath Union, Lakeview, Lost River, Bonanza, Cross Point Christian, Chiloquin, Tule Lake. I mean, we're looking at everybody. 3:47 to go in the third quarter. Henley up 48-13. Mock can't connect on a three. They fight for the rebound underneath. Ends up going out of bounds to Mazama. Bailey Ladner checking in for Kennedy Modine. This is Kennel, guarded by Ladner. 11 guarding 11, and the ball just slipped out of Kennel's hands. Shade gets it back. Now Mock. Now Northcutt driving in traffic, misses. Three minutes left in the third quarter, and Jackson misses the triple. Henley outscoring Mazama 9-0 here in the third period. Ladner throws it to Shade. Mock. Pass tipped, intercepted. Rare turnover tonight for Henley as Kirkpatrick dodges the steal, puts up a shot that bounces off the front of the rim. Brown. Wide open three for Shade. Bang. First three of the night for Shade. She's now up to 9 points. Mazama travels there on the ensuing possession. And Henley could push this to a 40-point margin on this one. 2:06 to go in the third quarter. Oh, Brown did not receive that pass cleanly, and it's out of bounds back to the Vikings.
We got the first brief chant out of the Mazama students. Skyline Conference student sections get into it. I'm not sure what it was like where you went to school, Matt, but as a former student at Skyline Conference school myself, they practice these chants to go back and forth at these schools. I mean, really, at pep rallies, we practice chants. And so it's a good opportunity for the students to get involved, and we just saw the first bit of it with Mazama there.
Yeah, I went to high school in Charlotte, big city, so those rivalries were intense, and the student sections really got into it with each other. So, didn't usually see that kind of environment when I was calling games in Oklahoma. It was a lot more muted, but glad to kind of get back to that tonight if it's what you just described. Nice three there from Bailey Ladner. She's up to 7 points. Had 4 on Tuesday, so, you mentioned some of these reserves getting some good run these last couple games and taking advantage of it.
Like to see it, and a good opportunity to rest for some of the Hornets' heavy minutes players. And, I mean, there really aren't that many heavy minutes players because Henley's bench is so deep. I mean, even their traditional star players. You think of, the Campos sisters and, Shade, I think, has entered that conversation too. They don't often play a lot of minutes, but even a more opportunity to rest tonight.
Kaylin Davis throws the inbound off of Meredith Brown. This time able to get it over her, but it's almost a loose ball. It is corralled by Garcia. Given to Davis. Deep three from Slazak comes up well short. And taken the other way by Senya Campos. Senya too strong but fouled. Senya Campos makes the first free throw. And the second. That'll give her 12 points. She scored 3 against Hidden Valley on Tuesday. Loose ball, and the possession arrow points to Mazama. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Henley with a 56-13 lead. Garcia throws it to Slazak. Taken away by Senya Campos. Campos, easy finish. She's got 7 points this quarter. Scored 7 in the entire first half. Tight defense from Maya Ma. Campos almost intercepts the pass. 9 seconds to go. Mazama has to get a shot up. Garcia misses. Rebound by Facel. 2 seconds. She's got to pull up. And the buzzer-beating three does not fall. But it's still a 45 lead Henley as we get ready for the final quarter. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldredge, bringing you Henley Ball on mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clownfall Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clownfall Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clownfall Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
The fourth quarter will be played with a running clock. Clock will stop for free throws, and it just did as Kennedy Modine heads to the line. Made the announcement over the PA here at Henley, so now we definitively know the rule. As Modine makes the second.
Public address announcer here at Henley High School, Mr. Bob Shambrose. Also the yearbook teacher does a great job entertaining the fans inside the Hornets' nest.
Yeah, he's provided us with some great pictures, too, for some of our web articles. Really appreciate him. As Modine takes that one away, it's rifled up to Preston Shade. And another wide open layup. Kirkpatrick misses a three. Henley pitched a shutout in that third quarter, by the way.
Wow.
In the corner, Meredith Brown. Over to Modine. Shade dribbles in and misses. Rebounded by Ladner. Ladner fights to get a shot up but misses. Kirkpatrick over to Slazak. Jackson, Kirkpatrick pulls a three and misses. Shade with Modine alongside her, takes it in herself and scores. And Randy Tenson calls a timeout. We'll see if this was just to get some subs in or if there was something you talk about. (63-13), Henley leads.
They've looked every bit as good as we expected them to be. I don't know if I necessarily expected a 50-point margin between these two squads. I think Henley came in expecting to win, and 6 minutes away from doing so. They've slammed the door. They just got to nail it shut.
Well, I was talking to the coaching staff before the game, and they, kind of giving me some suggestions for things we could do to fill time if the game were to get out of hand like this. And they brought up Randy Denson. He's a big chewing gum guy. And he told me that his flavor tonight is Trident Minty Twist.
Trident Minty Twist. I wonder if he goes with the Trident layers.
You can't see it. You can't see it really on our camera, but he's still working on it down there.
I think, I wonder if he's switch the piece every quarter or if he chews it till it's dust like Pete Carroll used to.
I'd probably have to switch it out probably at least at halftime, because I can't stand, once it loses its flavor, it's just, I can't stand it. So Kenny Modine commits a foul. It'll send Addison Byington to the line with a chance to score Mazama's first points since the first half. 4:43 to go in the fourth. It's 63-13. Another round of subs for Henley. Byington 0 for 2 from the free throw line, so the drought continues. What's your thoughts on kind of the brand range as far as gums go, Josh?
I mean, I've always done the extra the spearmint. I've always been a spearmint guy. If not that, then the Trident layers, which I brought up, they do the fruit flavors. I haven't seen those in stores for some time, but that was my go-to when I was in middle and high school, was the Trident layers.
Yeah,
nowadays
those are
a wintergreen.
Those are top tier.
Yeah.
Those are top tier for sure.
S-tier gum.
Also, Orbit. I also like Orbit. Extra, I think Extra's pretty good. 5 gum, though. I'll tell you what, 5 gum trips me out.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Big League Chew at least once.
Yeah.
That's a throwback, but it's a keeper.
Leah Hernandez at the free throw line. She made her first one, so that ends the Mazama scoring drought, and she goes 2 for 2. 5 gum, I think, this may sound, let me know if this makes any sense, but
okay.
It tastes the way Chrome looks.
Is that what it feels like to chew 5 gum?
Yeah. It trips me out. I can't say I'm a huge fan, honestly.
It's the Axe body spray of gums.
Yes, there you go. That's it right there. I always enjoyed the times when I would get Bazooka Joe in my Halloween bag, because they had the comics, and those were fun. That was kind of a mind-blowing idea to me, was to have gum wrapped in a little comic.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had those.
I mean, that's like, to me, that's a big cut above the jokes on the popsicle sticks,
No Snapple facts? You not a fan?
All right, they're doing something at the scores table. I'm not sure what. The referee is there an issue with the scoreboard, perhaps?
Not entirely certain. I do want to bring up, though, just one more time, bringing it back to the student sections. We've talked about Henley's student section coming in. It's Military Appreciation Night. It looks like we've got some folks out there wearing red, white, and blue. Henley just nailed down a triple.
Yeah, Meredith Brown getting into the scorebook. That is great to see. She's a senior. She's, one of those deep reserves for Henley. She's had a few looks tonight, but hasn't been able to convert, and she did there. And she got a nice big cheer from the home crowd.
Not only is it a theme night for those Hornets in their student section, but it also looks like it's some kind of theme night for the Vikings, too. If you've seen students walking towards the bottom of your screen in neon, it looks like it's some kind of a neon theme night for the Mazama student section,
Yeah,
too.
it's actually, I saw this. I just happened to see this on their Facebook page when I was on the 960 page earlier today, posting some stuff. It's alien invasion was the theme. They want to invade the Hornets' nest. You know, the fact that they're going with the alien invasion theme, and meanwhile Henley's kind of going with the USA theme. It's almost like they're recreating Independence Day.
I was just thinking the same thing. I feel like I've seen this movie before.
Well, the first game has certainly kind of played out like a bit like the movie did, at least how it ended up. We'll see what happens in the boys' game, which scheduled for a 7:30 tip-off. I think we're going to be a little behind as they have a pretty nice, elaborate ceremony here planned pregame for Military Appreciation Night.
Yeah, I mean, we at least in years past, they've rolled out a big American flag to cover most of the floor. They present the colors with the color guard of the ROTC program here at Henley. We're going to honor all the veterans that are in attendance tonight. And they've got the video screen rolled out there. I think they're going to play a video either between the games or at halftime tonight, honoring all of the branches of service in the United States military.
Yeah, for those who may be watching from out of town, Klamath Falls is home to Kingsley Field. That's a base of the Oregon Air National Guard. So this is a military town.
You hear the sound of freedom often here at Henley High School, especially during baseball season. The way that Henley's baseball field is situated, whenever those Jets take off at Kingsley Field, you always hear them outside of Henley High School. So, yeah, absolutely a big military culture here in the Basin.
Heck, not even necessarily just at Henley. I mean, you can hear them in town, anywhere, kind of anywhere in the vicinity. Jet engines echoing off the mountains. All right, this will about do it here. 49 seconds left. Henley up 66-15. 5 seconds on the shot clock. We'll see if they even shoot it. Senya Campos shakes the defender, drives and gets fouled.
Kind of an awkward sequence there. Senya might have pushed off the defender, cuts the rim, and gets fouled. The game's well decided, but definitely some groans from the Mazama supporters after that possible no call.
Makes her first free throw. And the second. A 53-point margin for Henley as they roll to 14-0 on the season. Senya Campos just going to dribble it out. And that will do it. 5 seconds until it's ball game. 68-15 is your final here at the Hornets' Nest as the girls dominate the Mazama Vikings. Randy Denson exchanging some fist bumps with his staff as a clinical performance by his team tonight.
Henley certainly looked like the #1 team in the state tonight, taking on the number 32 team in the state tonight. There's not much more to say other than that. Hornets should feel good about this one, and they're going to look ahead on the schedule and start preparing for next week. They get a longer break. This game's usually played on a Friday night. They play it on a Thursday due to issues with the officials, not having enough in the Klamath Basin. So an extra day of rest after a good, solid win. Coach Denson's squad ought to feel good coming off the floor tonight.
No doubt about it. We'll take a break. We will have your final scoring when we come back. I'm Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldredge. You're watching Henley Basketball on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Comfortable and not quit. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
(68-15), your final score here in the opening leg of this Henley-Mazama doubleheader at the Hornets' Nest. Henley girls just absolutely rolling the Vikings. Held them to just 2 points in the entire second half, both on free throws in the fourth quarter, as the fourth quarter was also played with a running clock. Your final scoring for Henley. Every Hornets player who dressed out tonight got in the scorebook. All 9 of them. They were led by Senya Campos with 16 points, followed by Preston Shade with 13. Kennedy Modine and Lily Fassell each had 9. Bailey Ladner had 7. Annie Campos had 5. Maya Mock had 4. Meredith Brown had 3. And Jewel Northcutt had 2. Looking at Mazama, Leia Hernandez led the Vikings with 5, followed by Shakila Jackson with 3. Kaylin Davis, Hannah Yacomelli, and Aurora Garcia each had 2, and Addison Slazak had 1. We're going to go ahead and kind of step off the stream here. We're going to keep it running, but Josh and I will step aside, just kind of throw up the graphic and put it on mute as we get ready for the boys' game here. I'm Matt Bowling. It's been great to be with you tonight. Josh Eldredge and Kevin Petrick will be on the air for you in the boys' game. It's also going to air on 104.3 and 960 Sports. So if you got to hop in the car, you don't have to miss any of the boys' game. Just turn it on. We're going to be getting started here in a little while. Once again, your final score in the girls' game, Henley 68, Mazama 15. I'm Matt Bowling. You are watching Henley basketball on mybasin.com.
And a very pleasant good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Hornets basketball tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. A very special night tonight at Henley High School. It's Military Appreciation Night. We'll talk a little bit about the festivities that happened as we were getting ready for our pregame coverage as the Hornets back inside the Hornets' nest, getting ready for a Skyline Conference game with the Mazama Vikings. So glad to be with you on a beautiful Thursday night in the Basin. Josh Eldredge along with Kevin Petrick. And should be a great night of basketball tonight. A couple of crosstown rivals, filled up student sections. Couldn't ask for a better night, Kev.
Yeah, this is always an important evening for us here at Henley. We get to host Mazama. We honor our military, and the place is packed. So just what you want for a basketball game. Should be a good matchup tonight.
All right, we're going to take a quick break on the pregame show. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Skyline Conference standings after one game for each of these schools. And then it'll probably be about time for starting lineups and tip-off. This is Hornets basketball on 104 and 960 Sports, also on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Back with you from inside the Hornets' nest on the campus of Henley High School, just south of downtown Klamath Falls for the Skyline Conference matchup. It's the Hornets' home league opener tonight. They played back on Tuesday on the road at Hidden Valley. Hornets took a tough loss to that one in the Mustangs, losing by 9. Mustangs hit a couple of tough shots down the stretch, closed out the Hornets. They're looking to kind of make it right tonight on their home floor. They're taking on a Mazama Vikings squad who has struggled coming out of the gate. They're 2-12 overall in the season. They lost their league opener back on Tuesday to Phoenix, 57-48. They had a tough month of December, only collecting one win, and it was against Sweet Home at the Sisters tournament up there. So this Mazama team also looking to find a little bit of footing in a tough Skyline Conference. Right now, the standings go like this. Phoenix is atop the league, 11-3 overall. This Pirates team has been kind of sneaking up on squads the past couple of years. Hidden Valley right behind them, 1-0 in conference play, 8-6 overall. The Pelicans have yet to play a conference game, but 5-8 overall on the season. These Henley Hornets 0-1 in league play, again collecting a loss on Tuesday, but 7-6 overall. And then again, the Vikings have yet to win a league game, 2-12 overall on the season. Still a lot of basketball left to be played in the Skyline Conference, but that's how it looks early. Thank you for being with us tonight on mybasin.com. Josh Eldredge along with Kevin Petrick as we get ready to meet the starting 5 from both squads tonight. First, we'll start with the visiting Mazama Vikings, but only after this. Want to remind you that the reason this game is being played on a Thursday at all is because of a lack of officials in the Klamath Basin. Thanks for the gentlemen who are here tonight, but if you want to become an athletic official, we need you now more than ever. To become an athletic official, visit osaa.org/officials to begin and get registered. All right, the starting 5 for the Mazama Vikings. Junior, 6'3", number 0, it's Gabe Nanny. Number 2, a junior standing 6 foot tall, it's Dominic Melgoza. Number 4, a junior standing 5'9", it's Kai Hunt. Number 11, a senior 5'10", Marcos Uloa Ford. Number 32, a junior standing 6'5", it's Ryan Hayden. That's your starting 5 for the Mazama Vikings, who are coached by Ryan Millsap. Now it's time to meet the starting 5 for the Henley Hornets. Starting at guard, number 10, a senior standing 5'10", it's Aiden Hayes. Number 12, a senior 6'3", it's Owen Harper. Number 22, a senior, 5'11", it's Chris Janney. Number 24, another senior, standing 6'3", it's Luke Bennett. And number 44, the big man down low, standing 6'7", the senior, Marcus McCready. The Hornets are coached by Luke Hammond and assisted by Thomas Loney and Brian Stock. As we get ready for basketball here tonight, Hornets are wearing their home new blue or white uniforms with navy blue lettering, navy blue numbers as well. The Vikings tonight in their traditional road blues with Mazama written across the chest in white with black trim.
Those of you who have watched Henley, you know it kind of revolves around Marcus McCready, 6'7", and Mazama will have a little trouble tonight. They're outsized. Marcus is big inside. He's a senior, and he does a nice job.
23 points and 16 rebounds on Tuesday for Marcus, but it's the Vikings who control the opening tip. With it now is Kai Hunt, top of the key, bouncing it down low to Hayden. Hayden zipping it over to Melgoza, but a turnover, and the Hornets collect it. Here's Owen Harper pushing the pace on the far side for the Hornets as they go from left to right, but picked apart in transition. Kai Hunt racing up the floor, and it'll be the Vikings who strike first in the Hornets' nest. All right, here's Aiden Hayes on the left wing. Hayes brings it back well beyond the arc, dishes it to Bennett on the near side. Bennett to Harper, top of the key now on the far side, back to Hayes. Hayes zips it cross court to Janney, puts it on the deck, underhand loft to Harper. Harper on the right wing, now top of the key to Hayes. Hayes back outside to Bennett, now to Janney in the far corner. Fakes left, goes right, but the Hornets passing it around the horn. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Bennett zipping it far side to Hayes, steps into a triple. Hayes can't answer. McCready with the rebound. He gets fouled on the shot, and Marcus is heading to the line for a pair.
Mazama showing his own defense to start the game. That's probably a wise move when you're a little bit undersized. Henley was being patient, working the ball around, trying to get that shot. Sometimes you'll see Henley try to push the pace, but here they're taking their time.
McCready can't hit that first free throw. Already one of the more loud environments we've been in this season. A crosstown rivalry, a couple of Klamath County School District teams filled up Henley student section, and same goes for the Vikings. McCready hits his second free throw. Makes it 2-1 Vikings with 7 minutes to go in the first. Pass into the front court, but Melgoza can't control it, steps out of bounds, and the Hornets take possession.
Hornets showing a little zone press there, and it worked. Forced a turnover.
All right, here's Hayes bringing it up. Underhand toss to Bennett, zips it near side to Janney. Janney back to Bennett in the near corner, gets it to Harper on the right block. Quick pass to McCready, but he loses it. Loose ball collected by Harper, and I believe he's going to get fouled on the floor. And so it should maintain possession for the Hornets.
Mazama really packing that key with defenders.
High pass to Marcus. He gets bumped trying to catch it, but a turnover. Hunt racing up the floor with a left-handed lay. It's good. All right, it is 4-1. Mazama in front, 6:28 to go in the first, and the Hornets are in the front court. Here's Hayes, underhand dish to Bennett. Now over to Janney on the far side. Janney now to Bennett in the far corner, back to Janney. Hornets passing it around the perimeter, only really getting it inside to Marcus. Here's Bennett with it in the far corner. Now it's Marcus at the free throw line. Puts it on the deck, trying to power through defenders, has his shot bothered, recollects the loose ball, and a blocking foul down low against the Vikings. You know, it was one of the things we kind of talked about at Hidden Valley on Tuesday. Marcus takes a lot of contact in the paint, but it doesn't look like he takes any contact.
Yeah.
He has a tough time getting the whistle on occasion.
I would agree with you. They really beat him up down there.
Marcus takes the inbound pass to Janney, back outside to Harper. Beautiful interior passing, but the shot blocked by Melgoza. Here come the Vikings. They cross the timeline. It's Hunt. Scored 4 points already tonight. All right, pass goes back outside to Uloa Ford at the free throw line, trying to dribble around the defender, but the loose ball picked up by the Hornets. Aiden Hayes going to bring it up for Henley.
Both teams turning the ball over a little bit here early.
Hayes, quick pass outside to Bennett on the left wing. Top of the key now to Janney. Janney back to Bennett. Bennett fakes left, steps right at the left elbow. Now back inside to Bennett. He gets fouled on the shot. Luke is going to head to the line for a pair.
Good work that time offensively from Henley. they're going to have to be patient, because if you force that ball in there, they will turn it over. So you want to be careful. And that time there was some good movement through the key. Found the open Bennett, and he's at the line.
Hits his first one. It's a great time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. And I believe Coach Millsap having a word with the far official. That's Craig Connor. And not quite sure exactly what the whistle was about. It didn't look like any technical was assessed. Bennett misses his second free throw. Score remains 4-2 Vikings. 5:16 to go in the first. It's Kai Hunt to cross the timeline for Mazama. With it now on the left elbow is Hayden. Back outside to Hunt for three. Misses everything, and the air ball chants roar out from Cowbell City. Here comes Hayes. Pass into the front court to Bennett. Now to McCready at the free throw line. Mid-range jumper, high bounce off the back of the rim, and out of bounds it goes after touching the shot clock.
Both teams having a little trouble scoring in their half-court offenses here. Kind of early game jitters. This is a big game. These kids know each other. They've seen each other in football. They're back at it tonight.
Athletic play on the sideline, but they're going to call over and back as Nanny shoved it back to his teammate who hadn't yet crossed half court. Harper heads to the bench. Bryson Montag is back in, but we've got time first. The score 4-2, 4:49 to go in the first, and the Vikings in front of the Hornets on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. The Hornets have the ball coming out of the break, but Luke Bennett leaves a three-point jumper short. Here come the Vikings, who are up by 2 with 4:37 to go in the first. It's Uloa Ford on the other side, passing it outside to Nanny. Now to Hunt, top of the key. Over now to the big man Hayden on the right wing. Now to Melgoza, top of the key. Uloa Ford on the left side. Uloa Ford puts it on the deck, dribbling inside. A foul. I believe it might have been Janney who reached in on the defensive end. And that is the call. That'll be Janney's first. Inbound pass to Kai Hunt on the far side. Hunt bouncing it down low to Hayden on the right block. Going to work against McCready. McCready rebukes the shot. And now here come the Hornets. Hayes trying to race up the floor. Take it himself. Kick outside to Janney. Free throw line jumper. That's blocked by Hayden. Great defense played on both sides. Score remains 4-2 Vikings. 4:02 to go in the first. Quick three-point jump shot on the other side. Bailed by Goza, and that one falls down. 7-2 Vikings. 3:53 to go in the first. Here's Hayes. Outside to Bennett. Left alone beyond the arc, but dribbles baseline. Fade around jump shot. Too strong. McCready with the rebound. Bothered down low and a held ball. The possession arrow favors the Hornets. These Vikings, maybe underdogs coming into this game, but they are flying around on both sides of the ball.
They are flying around, and they're athletic. I think they jump a little more than you think they would. They've been really getting up near the rim and controlling it defensively.
Hayes to inbound on the baseline. Lane Frank has checked into the game. He receives the inbound pass. Now to Bennett on the left wing. Bennett to Montag, top of the key. One step inside the perimeter, outside to Frank. Frank finds Hayes cutting to the cup. Back outside to Frank. Near corner three. No good. Nanny cleans up the boards, and it'll be Hunt to bring it up for the Vikings. Dishes it ahead to Melgoza. Melgoza threading the defense. Outside to Nanny for three. It's good. Vikings up 10-2. 3:16 to go in the first. Here's Hayes. Over to Bennett. Bennett denies the open look from range, but it's Frank. Frank from the left elbow outside to Montag. Now back to Frank. Frank bouncing it to Hayes, top of the key. Hayes left alone into a triple. It's good. Henley answers. Cuts the lead in half. 10-5. 2:50 to go in the first. Vikings in front. Pass in the front court to Melgoza. Now to Hayden. Outside to Hunt. Back to Melgoza. Hunt, long triple, no good. Rebound is snagged by Uloa Ford. Outside to Hayden. Now it's Melgoza, but he turns the ball over. Aiden Hayes in the passing lane. Here's Hayes taking it coast to coast. Bounce pass to Bennett. And an offensive foul as Hayes charged in against the defender.
Hayes was kind of going with a full head of steam there. The defender had set his feet, and he drew the offensive foul.
Hornets had pressed on defense for a second, now dropping back into more of a zone look. Here's Uloa Ford on the near side. Uloa Ford bouncing it over to Hunt, well beyond the arc on the right side. Back to Ford. Now getting it inside, but it's picked away by Hayes again in the passing lane. Here's Aiden behind the back dribble. Loses it for a second, but it's recollected by Marcus. And Marcus is going to travel, and he is incensed, trying to say he felt contact. But a whistle against him.
Yeah, Mazama's game plan there, when Marcus gets the ball inside, he's got at least 2 defenders, sometimes 3. So he's feeling really crowded in there.
It's going to be about composure for Marcus, returning after a long injury, still playing himself back into basketball shape as well. Pass inside, again taken away by the Hornets. Here's Bennett, taking it himself, up with the shot and a blocking foul. I believe they'll call this one on the shot. Bennett didn't hit the bucket, but he'll earn 2 free throws.
That was a good move to the basket that time. He kind of made a little fake outside and brought it right back into the key and drew the foul. And that's going to be Henley's best defense against that zone defense in transition. Score quickly, get the ball up the floor before they could set up.
Bennett's first free throw's good.
Mazama shooting the ball pretty well from outside so far. Henley with a 3 ball also. That'll keep them in the game.
Bennett's second free throw no good, but Bryson Montag battles for the rebound. Here's Bennett now to Hayes. Hayes left alone from the perimeter. Aiden Hayes cannot answer. But Bryson Montag, again, hard work on the glass. Outside to Bennett for 3. No, in and out. It'll be Hayden who collects the rebound for the Vikings.
Couple tough shots in and out there for Henley.
1:30 to go in the first. Mazama up 10-6. Pass goes onto the far side to Hunt. Now to Uloa Ford against Frank. Dishes it back outside to Connor Baker, who's checked in for the Vikings. Now it's Hunt with it, top of the key. Over far side to Hayden. Now to Baker. Baker driving right, terminates the dribble, dishes it to Jordan Beals. Inside he goes, but the ball picked away by Montag. Here's Bryson, inside, all alone, right-handed layup, but a charge! Oh my goodness, the Hornets' nest is out of its mind.
The crowd doesn't like that one. I tend to agree with them there. Good steal by the Hornets defense. Could not convert on the other end.
Great play by Montag, though. I mean, even collecting that foul, the scoop, and what maybe could have been a score.
Absolutely.
Checking into the game for Mazama is Deshaun Carter, wearing number 13 tonight. All right, Hunt brings it back out beyond the arc. Hunt now near side to Baker. Pardon me, that's Beals. Beals into a contested 3. He left it short. Hayes with the rebound. Now it's into the front court to Bennett. Bennett finds Frank, cutting to the rim, high off the glass, no good, but McCready is there for the rebound. I think they're going to say Frank was fouled on the shot, so Marcus's putback is wiped off the board, and it'll be Lane Frank putting his shoe back on as he heads to the line.
Henley doing a good job defensively. In the past, you'll see a lot of man-to-man from Henley, but they're going with a 1-3-1 zone tonight, and they've ended up with a lot of steals.
Owen Harper and Joe Janney checking in for Marcus McCready and Aiden Hayes. McCready, as he heads to the bench, again got 23 points and 16 rebounds against Hidden Valley. Played most of the game, finding some rest here at the end of the first quarter. Frank's second free throw is good, and Henley cuts this down to a 1-possession game. It's 10-7. 38 seconds to go in the first. Hunt lobs it down low to Beals, who is left all alone. Finally fields a defender, takes a difficult shot and misses. Harper collects the rebound but travels.
That was a tough break there from Owen. He made a good rebound but just fell to the floor and was called for the travel.
Hunt, quick interior pass, knocked loose, but Carter collects the loose ball. Now it's Hunt, top of the key, zips it to Beals. Beals bothered by Frank, Top of the key to Melgoza. Melgoza fakes left, goes right, outside to Carter. For three, no good. Frank cannot collect the board. It goes out of bounds, and so Mazama could play for the last possession of this first quarter with just 18 seconds on the game clock. We've got a sub coming in. It looks like Chris Janney in for Lane Frank. Janney's going to come in and guard the inbound pass as well. Inbound to Carter. Dish outside to Beals. Beals trying to get around the defender, but outside to Hunt. Hunt guarded by Joe Janney. Now to Melgoza between the circles. Driving on the right block. Terminates the dribble. Up off the glass. No good. Rebound collected by Bennett. 2 seconds. Bennett from half court. Oh, off the glass. It's no good. We go to the second quarter with the Vikings in front of the Hornets. The score is 10-7. Second quarter action is next on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Back ready for second quarter action tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and HD video on mybasin.com. The Hornets trailing the Vikings after the first period 10-7, and it will be those Mazama Vikings who start with the ball. Pass to Beals, outside to Nanny. Nanny top of the key to Hunt. Hunt guarded by Hayes, well beyond the arc. Driving the right block, diving to the cup. Loose ball collected by Harper. Hornets trying to push the pace. Outnumber the Vikings 4-3 in transition. Janney up with a difficult shot, no good. And McCready gets hacked on the putback. He'll go to the line.
It's those second chances that have brought Henley back. They were down a little bit early, but they've done a much better job rebounding the basketball and getting those second chances. And defensively, they switched to man-to-man at the end of the first quarter there, and they've had a couple of steals, and Mazama has not been able to score. So some good defensive change-ups there.
Certainly a game of adjustments. It's something that Coach Hammond knows well, making the proper one, at least in the first quarter. Marcus's second free throw is good. Perfect trip for him. Makes the score 10-9. Vikings still in front. 7.5 to go in the second. Another adjustment for the Hornets on the defensive end. Here's Beals with it on the near side. Beals from the left elbow, outside to Nanny for three. No good. And Hayes, a track and field jump to collect the rebound. Brings it into the front court himself. Right-handed floater's too strong. Inside to Marcus, battling three Vikings, and he's fouled.
You know, they just are not going to let him take an uncontested shot.
It's the only way you can defend him.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just let him go. You figure he's got me beat. I'm going to. Not tonight. They're contesting every shot, and he's drawing a lot of fouls doing that.
McCready, 3 points tonight so far, all on made free throws. He's 3 for 4 so far. And now 4 of 5 to tie the game at 10. Joe Janney into the game. I believe it was Bennett who went to the bench. McCready at the free throw line helps the Hornets take the lead for the first time tonight. 11-10, 7:08 to go in the second quarter. Hornets pressing, trying to trap, and a turnover. Here's Hayes with it now. Shoving it ahead to Chris Janney. Outside to Harper. Catch and shoot three in the far corner's no good. Joe Janney with the rebound, but too much on the pass. Over and back go the Hornets. And possession to the Vikings in the front court.
Henley playing well these last 3 or 4 game minutes. Able to take the lead.
Here's Kai Hunt, bringing it around the left side, takes a screen going right, trying to lose the defender, kicks it outside to Yaloa Ford at the right elbow, outside to Hunt on the right side. A three is good.
He's shooting well tonight, another three.
7 points for him tonight. And McCready at the left elbow, trying to go to work inside the paint. Fadeaway floater is good. Marcus with a nice little touch there.
Another tough shot.
Tied at 13, 6:20 to go in the second quarter. McCready trying to get in the way of the passing lane, and he's going to get whistled for a foul. A bit overzealous trying to go for the steal.
Yeah, the thing you want to do in a press, you don't always need a steal. You just want to create chaos. Sometimes knock their timing off. They'll make a bad pass. You end up with a basketball.
Vikings inbound. It's Hunt with it well beyond the arc, more at half court. The big H in the center of the Hornets' nest. All right, pass goes into the near corner. Now to Yaloa Ford. Baseline jumper from the mid-range is good. Yaloa Ford with his first points of the night. The lone senior on this Vikings basketball squad. Here's Hayes with it between the circles. Brings it to the right side, taking a soft screen from Marcus, going right, now to Janney on the left side. Zips it to Janney in the far corner. Down low to Harper, off the glass on the easy look. Tied back up at 15.
That was a great entry pass there from Joe Janney.
Pass to Yaloa Ford, now back to Hunt. Hunt spins around the defender, back out beyond the arc, guarded by Harper. Knifes it between his legs, but fields a little bit of a double team in the zone look. Now here's Baker, back over to Hunt. Hunt to Baker in the near side. Trying to drive baseline, spins around, tries to get it to Hunt, but knocked away. Harper picks it up. 1-on-2 in a fast break. Steps left, lays it up. McCready can't get the putback. Here's a third look at it. McCready drew from about 3 feet out, and Coach Millsap wants time. We'll take it as well. 17-15, Hornets taking control in the second quarter. It is 104.3 and 9/6 HD video on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hornets have battled back to take a lead. Halfway through the second quarter, they're up by 2, 17-15. Their second Skyline Conference game, their first at home in over a month. Playing a crosstown rival in the Vikings, and the fans who have been starved of home basketball turning out tonight at Henley High School.
Good crowd. Great game so far, close. Henley's been double teaming whenever they can, and that's really helped them to gain the lead here. They get a quick double team, they get a transition basket, and that's been working for them.
All right, it'll be the Vikings who start with the ball out of the break. Tall front court pass to Deshaun Carter. Shoots one from about 19 feet out, it's no good. Rebound collected by Nanny down low. His putback attempt offline. Now it's the Hornets. Here's Hayes into the front court. Now to Janney, top of the key. Janney to Bennett in the left corner. Bennett puts it on the deck. Back to Chris Janney. Now to Harper. To Hayes in the near corner. Hayes gets it to Harper, cutting to the rim. Back out to Hayes. Now to Bennett. Down low to Marcus. Marcus against the double team. Off the glass. It's good for Marcus. It's 19-15. 4.5 to go in the second. The Hornets in front. Here's Hunt. Hunt trying to get around the defender. Double teamed well beyond the arc, but a blocking foul called by the near official. If anything, it would have been a reach-in, but called for the block.
Henley sticking with that press. They've done a nice job. It looks like after a made baskets when they go into the press. It's a zone, full court press, and a pretty good defense there. Just a little bit out of position. And Mazama will get the ball on the side.
It'll be Jordan Beals to take it and inbound for his squad. Pass intended for Yaloa Ford, picked off by Chris Janney to the hoop, but it's too strong on the layup. Now the Vikings trying to speed up, going the other way. Here's Hunt. On the right side, steps to the rim, kicks it outside to Nanny for 3. No good. Rebound collected by the Vikings. Far side to Hunt. Now top of the key to Beals. Beals near side to Carter for 3. Wide left. Rebound collected by Bennett, and here come the Hornets. Shoving it ahead to Janney, brings it along the right side. Janney now to Bennett. Bennett top of the key, dribbling left. Steps back beyond the arc, finds Chris Janney on the right side. Janney holds the ball high above his head, zips it far side to Harper. Corner three, good for the Hornets.
Nice 3 ball for the Hornets. Extend their lead to 7.
5 points for Harper, his first made triple tonight, and the Vikings go over and back.
That press is really doing its job. They forced a lot of turnovers. And Henley's starting to roll a little bit here.
Here's Hayes with it now, top of the key as the Hornets take the inbound. Hayes dribbling left, now to Bennett. Bennett zips it down low to Hayes. Guarded by 4 Vikings down low, but finishes tough underneath the cup.
Good strong move to the basket from Aiden.
Hornets now lead by 9, 24-15. 3:12 to go in the second quarter. Hunt terminates the dribble, kicks it over to Nanny. Nanny trying to fire a fastball to Yaloa Ford, but it's picked off by Harper. 2-on-2 in the fast break. Bounce pass to Montag, and it's good. 26-15, the Hornets in front. 3 to go in the half. Timeout, Mazama will take it with them. Again, 2:54 to go in the second. Henley up 26-15. You've got it on 104.3 and 960 Sports and hdvixen.com. Actually, you know what? We'll actually stick with you through this break. Shortened timeout here, but Kev, yeah, you mentioned it. The different looks, Henley switching up the defense. It seems possession by possession against Mazama. They can never quite guess right on the Viking side.
Right, and you know, this is a big game, the big rivalry, and I feel like the teams that were a little jittery at the beginning, the turnovers have come way down for Henley. So they're taking care of the ball better, and then they're getting a lot of transition baskets. When you get those easy baskets after the steal, you get easy layups, then you start kind of getting yourself some 5-0 runs, 7-0 runs, and you can stretch that lead out. And that's what the Hornets have done here in the second quarter.
One of the things Coach Hammond had talked to us about before the game was that with, you know, not having Marcus, the weather, and a couple other factors, the Hornets have had a hard time getting into a rhythm to start the year, hoping that tonight they can start on the right trail. Here's Hunt with it now as the Vikings with it. Now it's to Nanny, at top of the key. 3 is good. His first points of the night makes it an 8-point ball game, 26-18, 2:28 to go in the second quarter. Here's Hayes with it now. Now to Harper, far side to Montag, trying to get it down to McCready, but the pass knocked away by the Vikings. It's Yaloa Ford who picks it up. Ford brings it back out beyond the arc. Trying to get it to Nanny, loose ball, finally picked up by Ford, now Hunt in the near corner. Hunt, top of the key to Hayden, now far side to Nanny. Passes it into no man's land, a miscue causes a turnover for the Vikings.
Some more good defensive work from Henley. Just making Mazama work the ball.
Hayes across the timeline for Henley, over to Bennett. Now it's Harper on the left baseline, dribbles past the defender, reverse layup is good.
He didn't have much room down there. He spun the ball right off the glass in. Nice shot.
That's 7 points tonight for Owen, his team up by 10, 28-18, a minute 40 to go in the second. Here's Kai Hunt. Tries to find Yaloa Ford and does on the far side, bouncing it inside to Hayden. Outside to Nanny for the answer from range, it's good.
Mazama showing they have good skill shooting the outside shot. That's keeping them in the game.
28-21, a minute 23 to go in the first half. Harper tries to answer back, no good. Montag with the rebound, lofting it high to Marcus. Puts it on the deck, takes a body, off the shot, no good. And here comes Hunt. Hunt dribbles into a triple all by himself, too strong, and out of bounds it goes.
Marcus really does. He takes some shots in there. Coach Hammond talking to the officials a little bit about that right now.
Just because Marcus doesn't look like he gets fouled most plays up the floor, quite frankly.
Yeah, he does.
Here's Hayes with it now on the left wing. Montag, top of the key, zips it to Bennett in the near corner, all alone for 3, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. I believe it was last touched by the Hornets. It'll be Vikings ball.
Henley's guards are getting good looks outside. It isn't like they're not getting good looks. They just haven't hit that many threes. They've got a couple, but I'm sure they want to improve on that number.
Perimeter shooting has been a struggle for the Hornets for a couple of seasons now, but when you got a big man like Marcus down low, you don't have to rely on it as much as Mazama has in this game.
Right.
Uloa Ford kicking it to Nanny in the far corner. He's been good from there tonight and good once more. 9 points for Nanny tonight, all on made triples. It's a 4-point game.
Yeah, that's his spot too, so you need to be careful of that. He's got a hot spot over in that corner.
Hayes with it now with the shot clock off. Now it's to Harper. Back to Hayes, 20 seconds remaining in the half. Now to Bennett, well beyond the arc on the right wing. Tries to get the defender off his feet, zips it to Hayes. Now to Montag in the far corner, 12 seconds now. Bennett back top of the key. Hornets trying to look for the open look. Montag driving baseline, kicks it to Bennett. Near corner three once more. Too strong. Rebound is collected by Beals, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. The Hornets find themselves leading by 4. We'll be back to break it all down and take a look ahead at the rest of the schedule for the Hornets as we break into halftime tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video is on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Welcome back to Henley High School, just south of downtown Klamath Falls, as tonight's coverage of Henley Hornets basketball continues. 104.3 and 960 Sports. It's halftime, and the Hornets lead the Vikings 28-24. We're going to break down this half in a moment, but before we do, you hear the voice of Mr. Bob Shambros on the public address here at Henley High School. Right now, they are offering the Chance Rogers Scholarship presentation, a young man who attended Henley High School, and after he lost his battle with bone cancer, the ROTC program, along with a few others here at Henley, have put together a scholarship fund, and so honoring his memory here tonight in what has been a fun night of basketball, military appreciation night. Tears have been shed, and there's been moments of silence, and it's been a great night overall. And so far, the Hornets are in front at halftime. Right now, their leading scorer is Marcus McCready, 9 points, 7 points for Owen Harper so far tonight, 5 for Aiden Hayes, 2 for Bryson Montag, and 1 for each Luke Bennett and Lane Frank. Unofficially, your leading scorers for the Hornets so far. For the Vikings, 9 points for Gabe Nanny, 7 for Kai Hunt, 3 for Dominic Melgoza, and 2 for Marcos Uloa Ford. You know, Kev, it was the Vikings who were in control for most of the first quarter. Henley made a lot of good adjustments in that second quarter. They find themselves out in front.
Yeah, Henley did a good job defensively to change the game a little bit. If you've noticed in that first half, Mazama, not many points in the paint. They haven't been able to do anything in the paint. They've really had to rely on the outside shooting. Sometimes that can wane, and when that does, Henley may be able to stretch their lead in the second half.
Marcus down there with 9 points, most of those on made free throws. He did hit 2 field goals in pretty big situations. It's been interesting the way Mazama's kind of attacked him. We talked about it. It seems like every time he gets the ball, he just has so much gravity in the paint. I mean, he's drawing 3-4 Vikings, enough, frankly, to fill a rowboat back in the day for the Vikings.
Yes. I mean, he draws every defender, and on the defensive end, it's all the things you hear. It's not in the stats, but he changes almost every shot, and they're afraid to drive. They'll kick it out, and that's why they'll take those threes. So Marcus, a big influence, really having a good season. And as you mentioned, he's still playing back into shape a little bit.
Yeah, he's got 2 blocks tonight, averaging just over 3 per game this season. And by the way, good defense for Mazama, frankly. I mean, they defended him well. They defended the other players well. You look at the only kid from Mazama who has a little bit of a size comparison to Marcus. It's 6'5", Ryan Hayden. He got into a little bit of foul trouble, but a couple of blocks for him in that first half as well.
Yeah, Mazama's doing well to only be down 4, so they're definitely in this game. If they keep out shooting Henley from the perimeter, you don't know what can happen.
Yeah, 5 made triples for Mazama in that first half. That's more than half of their points.
Right, yeah.
Going to have to continue that if they want to find a way back into this game. But right now it is the Hornets who are up by 4, 28-24 at halftime. We're going to step aside when we come back. We'll talk a little bit about what's up next for the Hornets and look around the conference as we continue your coverage of Henley basketball tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on MyBasin.com. Leave it here.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Glad to be with you tonight on MyBasin.com, 104.3 and 960 Sports. My name is Josh Eldredge. Along with me is Kevin Petrick tonight. Hornets are up at halftime over the Mazama Vikings, 28-24. Hornets still searching for their first Skyline Conference victory this season. They fell to Hidden Valley back on Tuesday. Right now the Skyline Conference looks like this. It's Phoenix atop the league, 1-0. They beat these Vikings back on Tuesday, 57-48, to earn that league win. They're 11-3 overall, number 8 in the state. Hidden Valley is quickly behind them, also 1-0, defeating the Hornets on Tuesday. They're 8-6 overall in the season. The Pelicans still awaiting their first conference game. It'll come tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a moment, but they're 5-8 overall. Henley 0-1 in league play, 7-6 overall in the year. Mazama, these Vikings 0-1 in league play, 2-12 on the year, but they've looked pretty good here inside the Hornets' nest tonight. We mentioned that we've got one more game in the conference tomorrow. It'll be the Klamath Union Pelicans against the Phoenix Pirates, a couple of teams who, well, I think maybe they think this year could be part of their year. Phoenix especially, they've got a lot of seniors on their team. Klamath Union is always kind of sneaky, so that's the one other conference game going on the boys basketball side of things. Meantime, we saw the Henley girls take care of business against these Mazama Vikings not too long ago here inside the Hornets' nest, staying undefeated on the season. Petrick, you're an assistant on that team. How'd you guys feel about that?
I have a good view for those games.
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
right down
right
on the sideline. Yeah. You know, the kids have been really good this year about just, you hear the cliche, you take one at a time, but I kind of laugh at some of the kids. They don't even know who we're playing sometimes. Who we playing? I don't know. And that's the attitude you want. You just take one at a time. And I really feel like we've improved, and the kids are getting better and better, and that's what you want to see. So, yeah, we've had a great season thus far, and got a little break. We don't play for a while, and then we'll pick it back up next Saturday.
Yeah, Matt and I were talking during that game, and Annie Campos visited with us last night on our talk show on Ballin' in the Basin about the kind of culture within that team, how it's really player-driven. A lot of these kids kind of lead the way, and there's a lot of camaraderie and friendship on that team. I think it's fun to kind of hear you say the same thing up here.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, every team is different. You try to do what's best for the team. This team, you don't want to overcoach this team. This team kind of knows what to do as far as the intangibles go. You don't have to ask them to get pumped up for a game or you know, how how to break a press, or the little things. The big things, that's where the coaches kind of come in. But yeah, we have a very good group, very knowledgeable about basketball, and they played really well so far.
Whether it's the boys or the girls, if you're a Hornets fan, it's always mybasin.com. You're home for everything going on in the Klamath Basin, news, sports, special events, everything in between. If you haven't done it yet, be sure you download the mybasin.com mobile app. That way you can get everything right there on your smartphone. Again, you can watch these games right there on your smartphone as well. If you stream through YouTube, you can also get it on your tablet, your desktop, your smart TV. A lot of people watching it on the big screen, which I think is very cool. So no matter where you are, however you're watching or listening, thank you so much for being with us. Halftime is nearly concluded. We're going to take one more break. Hornets are up 28-24 over the Mazama Vikings. This is Henley basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and HD video on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Halftime nearly concluded tonight at Henley High School. The Hornets find themselves out in front, 28-24. So glad you could join us tonight on mybasin.com, or if you're listening on the radio, 104.3 and 960 Sports. My name is Josh Eldredge. Along with me is Kevin Petrick, and almost ready for second half basketball. The Hornets tonight, of course, in their home white uniforms, navy blue numbers and letters across the front and the back. Vikings in their road blues. Mazama written across the front in white text. Teams are in front of their benches right now, I'm sure, talking about the adjustments that need to be made. It's been kind of a game of runs so far. Mazama jumped out in front, Henley battled back, and then it was Mazama at that end of the first half who really started hitting shots to bring themselves back within four.
Yeah, it's been an even game, and we're talking about the conference. The landscape of the Skyline Conference could be a little different this year. I don't see a team running the table.
Yeah.
There are 3 or 4 teams. Hidden Valley was very good the other night, but Henley's competitive. I think Henley's played a difficult schedule. I mean, they played some top 10 teams. They had to do it without Joe and Marcus for a few. So
3 games up in Bend against 5A teams.
Right. So I think that's all leading. We talk about as coaches. You want to win the conference, you want to win the league, but you want to win the last 4. You win the last 4, you get the state title. So that's what these coaches are kind of working toward. And I think between now and then, we're going to see a really competitive conference.
It'll be the Hornets who start with the ball out of the break. The 5 on the floor for them. It's Bennett, Hayes, Chris Janney, Marcus McCready, and Owen Harper. Here's Chris Janney with it on the far side as the Hornets go from right to left. Hayes with it now on the far corner. Zipping it to Harper on the left elbow. Now to Janney, top of the key, near corner to Bennett. Zips it down low to Harper on the right block. Outside to Janney. Dishes it inside to the free throw line to Marcus, who finds Harper cutting to the rim and converts close to the cup.
Good cut, good pass. Easy hoop.
Harper had 7 points in the first half, give him 9 for the night so far. His team up by 6. 30-24, 7.5 to go in the third. Here's Hunt with it, top of the key, guarded by Hayes. Chicken now over to Nanny, back top of the key to Melgoza. Melgoza to Uloa Ford for three, leaves it short, follows his own shot for the rebound, goes up against Marcus, and a held ball as he tries to go back up for the shot. Marcus Uloa Ford, the lone senior on this Mazama Vikings squad. Next year, you can find him up on Campus Drive competing with the Oregon Tech baseball squad.
Very good.
Inbound pass to Melgoza, now over to Hunt. Hunt fakes left, goes right, dribbles out beyond the arc, now finds Melgoza. Melgoza zipping it near side to Nanny. Nanny lofting it high to Uloa Ford on the far side. Uloa Ford beyond the arc, finding Hayden, 6'5" beyond the arc. Dishes it to Hunt for a deep three that's left short. Out of bounds it goes, and the Hornets take over.
Yeah, that was a deep three. Shot that from the Hornet head over there on the court.
Here come those Hornets. It's Hayes who crosses the timeline for Henley. Passes it near side to Bennett. Bennett takes a screen, going right, finds McCready at the free throw line, back outside to Hayes, near corner, driving baseline, up with the shot, and he gets fouled.
It's a good decision there. He had an opportunity to take a three, decided to go with a pump fake and drive instead, and drew the foul.
See that a lot from the Hornets guards, but Hayes has hit one triple already tonight. He's got 5 points, and he leaves his first free throw short. Connor Baker checking in for Gabe Nanny, who goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Here's Hayes for the second free throw. Back iron no good. Harper with the rebound, tries to put it back. Can't do it. McCready gets a second look at it. Gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
Owen Harper's playing a good floor game tonight. He seems to be everywhere. I think he has 9 points. So he's also been pretty active on the boards as he was there. Kept the ball alive for Henley, and Marcus now at the line.
McCready true from the free throw line on his first shot. That puts him in double-digit scoring for the evening. Of those 10 points, 6 of them come from the penalty stripe. Here's another look at him. Rattles in, then out, then back in for Marcus. 32-24, Henley leading by 8. 6:29 to go in the third quarter. Kai Hunt battles up the floor, passes it to Uloa Ford in the near side. Uloa Ford, long mid-range jumper from 17 feet out. It's left short. Here's Chris Janney with the rebound. Dishing it ahead to Hayes. Hornets try to push the pace. Hayes into a three all alone. Rims out, no good. Here's Hunt. Hunt guarded by Hayes. Takes a screen going right. Dribbling inside, a few steps. Out of bounds it goes.
That was good help defense by McCready that time. It wasn't his man, but he saw he needed to help out, and he did. Knocked out of bounds.
Vikings will inbound at the baseline. Lofting it high to Hunt. Takes it into the backcourt and will walk it into the front court. Guarded by Hayes well beyond the arc. Bouncing it to Hayden. Tries to find Beals cutting to the rim, but a turnover. It's Owen Harper now. Racing up the floor. Taking it himself. A difficult shot, and he will get fouled on the attempt. To the line goes Owen Harper.
Another nice play from Owen Harper. That time being super aggressive to the basket. Went coast to coast, and he earned a couple of free throws here.
Good job by trying to keep the defender kind of backpedaling as well, not drawing the charge on that foul.
Yeah, well done.
Harper's first free throw is good. Hornets have a chance to build a double-digit lead. Biggest lead of the night was 11 in the second quarter. Here's Harper. That one's good. Hornets up by 10, 34-24. 5:42 to go in the third. And I believe the Hornets tipped it out of bounds. No, it was the Vikings going out of bounds. So it'll be Hornets basketball on their side of the floor. In comes Lane Frank. Out goes Chris Janney. High lofting pass into the outstretched arms of McCready. Near side to Frank. Frank down low to Marcus. Fielding a double team. His shot too strong. Now it's Hunt with it, trying to battle up the floor against Hayes. Hunt finally crossing the timeline, dishing it far side to Uloa Ford. Driving baseline, underneath he goes, trying to kick it back outside, but the pass taken away by Luke Bennett. Bennett driving up, Euro stepping to the rim, high off the glass, it's good from Bennett.
Another transition hoop for the Hornets.
Hornets now at their biggest lead of the night, up by 12, 36-24. Vikings try to answer with a deep three. It's offline. Hayes with the rebound. Getting it to Frank in transition. Frank back to Harper. Harper one step inside the rim, driving to the cup. And it's no good. Loose ball in transition collected by the Hornets, trying to save it from going out of bounds. The Vikings take it. Now a Hunt three is good.
The nice three from Mazama there to pull them back to within 9 points.
An official's timeout, and that three-point shot from Mazama is just kind of always keeping them within reach.
Yes, yes, it's working for them tonight. They're not getting a lot of scoring inside, so they're having to rely on that shot quite a bit, but they've made a few.
All right, Hornets start with it. Frank over to Hayes. Thought about a triple, now to Montag, to Frank in the near corner. Back to Montag. Now Joe Janney alone beyond the arc, bringing it around top of the key, over to Hayes. Hayes to Frank. Frank hands off to Joe Janney. Joe Janney between the circles, near corner to Frank. Open look from beyond the arc is no good. Montag with the rebound, kicks it outside to Janney. Janney to Marcus on the right block, and he's going to get fouled trying to catch the pass.
Henley really tracking down the rebounds at this point on both sides of the court. And that's helped them out here early in the third quarter.
Loving the effort from guys like Owen Harper. We've talked a lot about him, but how about Bryson Montag battling on the glass?
And he can really jump. He was above the rim on that last rebound.
Aiden Hayes to inbound, lofting it high to Marcus, beyond the arc, now to Frank, top of the key. Frank puts it on the deck, gets it to Joe Janney, left wing, now to Hayes, between the circles. Over to Montag on the far side. Montag dribbling into the paint. Layup is no good. Gets his own rebound, misses his own rebound again, kicks it outside to Joe Janney. Here's Frank now, back to Montag. Lofts it to Marcus on the left block, spinning around, blocked from behind, collects his own rebound, and finally gets called as he's fouled. He led to the line, it looks like.
Yeah, when you give Henley that many chances, it's not going to end well for you if you're the opponent. I think they had 4 or 5 shots on that possession.
Tonight's broadcast on MyBasin.com, brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. McCready missing the first free throw, earning a second. That one's offline as well. Rebound is won by Mazama. Here's Hunt racing up the floor, guarded by Hayes on the far side. Gets it top of the key to Beals. Beals well beyond the arc, about 26 feet out, brings it a little bit closer. Bouncing it inside to, I believe that was Brady Wynn. Uloa Ford, one step inside the perimeter, mid-range jump shot, no good. Frank with the rebound. Frank bringing it up, getting it to Hayes in the left wing. Well beyond the arc, Hayes walks it up, finds a soft spot in the defense, but kicks it out to Frank for three, no good. McCready with the rebound. Oh, he reached over, and Coach Hammond can't believe it. But Marcus was behind the defender there.
Henley got called for the foul there, but they've been rebounding very well in this third quarter. Coach Hammond is still over there discussing the call.
Well, Marcus caught it above his head. That might have been over the defender's head. It's not Marcus's fault. He's 6'7". Dominic Melgoza dishing it to Gabe Nanny. Now back to Melgoza. Here's Kai Hunt with it. Melgoza with it on the left wing. Here's Nanny, a long triple, and he's fouled. The shot's no good, but Nanny earns 3 free throws.
It's a tough break there. You never really want to foul a three-point shooter, but sometimes your body just kind of floats into the shooter, and he'll be shooting 3.
Nanny with 9 points tonight, all on made triples. This is his first trip to the line here, and it's no good. He's having to shoot into the student section, who's placed right behind the basket on the east end of the court, and that is a tough look for visiting players.
Whole lot of green and camouflage and red, white, and blue out there tonight. It is military night.
Had a great ceremony between games where we honored each veteran in the building tonight, every branch of the armed forces. Great rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner by the choir here at Henley, led by Christopher Benjamin. And it's been a great night so far. A 1-for-3 trip to the line for Nanny gives him 10 points, brings his team back within 8. Here's Bennett driving baseline, kicks it outside to Harper. Harper to Janney at the free throw line, kicks it to Frank beyond the arc. Now to Bennett. Bennett faking left, going right, dribbles beyond the back. Now knifes it between his leg, kicks it into Joe on the right block. Joe's fouled. He'll go to the line after missing the layup.
That was a good entry pass. Henley pretty good at spotting those cutters. They don't miss many cutters. If you're open getting through there, you'll get the ball. And that time Joe found his way to the free throw line.
Joe's first free throw is good.
Back on for Mazama, number 32, Ryan Hayden.
Joe rattles home a second free throw. This is the third game he's played in since returning from an injury, and those are his first points since returning as well. Hornets up by 10, 2:27 to go in the third quarter. The Vikings with it. Passing it over to Melgoza, almost lost a handle, but recollects. Kicks it outside to Hunt, catch and shoot three, no good. Rebound down low by Nanny against Montag. His layup is short, and Montag skies for the rebound. Bennett and the Hornets pushing the pace. Janney into the front court. Back to Bennett. Bennett switching to his left, loses the defender. Left elbow jumper's no good. Now it's Kai Hunt for the Vikings as they bring it up. Henley again up by 10. Their biggest lead of the night has been 12. Trapped in the corner is Connor Baker, gets rid of it to Hayden. And now it's Melgoza. Melgoza now near side to Hunt, guarded by Joe Janney. Head fake by Melgoza, tries to pass it down low. And a foul. I think Bennett might have pushed the defender.
It's like that was Lane Frank coming from the middle of the key there, trying to force his way forward.
Gotcha.
Henley just a good defensive team, and they have been for a number of years under Coach Hammond. And even tonight, they've only given up 28 here. Just really hard to score against this Henley team.
A couple of subs in for the Hornets. Chris Janney checking in along with Aiden Hayes. Inbound pass to Nanny. Dribbles inside the perimeter. Kicks it back outside to Baker. Baker now to Yaloa Ford in the right corner. Yaloa Ford dribbling inside, right elbow outside to Hayden. Ball goes around the horn outside to Nanny. Now to Yaloa Ford. Yaloa Ford is going to have to dribble around a Viking who fell to the floor. And we're going to see what the whistle was here. I think this is against the Hornets.
Yeah, Chris Janney put two hands on the offensive player there. You're going to get called for that just about every time.
Yaloa Ford will inbound for the Vikings. 1:23 to go in the third. Henley leads by 10, 38-28 in the Skyline Conference match. And we're ready for ball. Inbound into the backcourt for Hunt. Hunt dribbling past Hayes, kicks it outside to Yaloa Ford. Terminates the dribble, back to Hunt. Hunt now to Baker, top of the key over to Hayden. Here's Hunt with it now. Hunt dribbling with his left, switches to his right, between the legs it goes. Guarded by Harper. Loses the defender, step back three is good. A pretty shot from Hunt.
He is a good shooter. Another three for Hunt.
Henley now up by 7, under a minute to go in the third. High pass to Chris Janney, finds its way to Bennett. Bennett bouncing it to Harper, outside to Bennett, thought about a three, dribbling inside the paint, steps to the rim, no good on the layup. 2 seconds separating shot and game clock here as the Vikings move up the court. It's Yaloa Ford with it in the far corner. Top of the key to Nanny. Nanny now to Hunt. Hunt trying to drive inside, finds his way into the paint, driving the lane, gets fouled. And he'll go to the line. The clock stops with 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
This game's getting a little rougher as we go along here. Both teams in the bonus here at this point in the third quarter. And we've had very few possessions without a foul in this quarter. So
not only physically on the ball, but also plenty of fouls called away from the ball in this third quarter.
Yes, it's getting physical everywhere at this point.
McCready checking back in. Bryson Montag to the bench. 5 on the floor for Henley. Hayes, Bennett, Harper, Janney, and McCready. Free throws no good for Hunt. Hornets an opportunity at the final possession. Here's Hayes with it now on the left side. Hayes well beyond the arc, guarded by Uloa Ford. Gets around that defender, bounce pass to Bennett. Bennett trying to spin around, kicks it outside to Harper. 6 seconds now. Back to Bennett on the far side. Trying to get it down to McCready. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Vikings.
Well, only 2 seconds here to work with.
Try to drop a quick look for the Hornets. We'll see who it goes to. Might try to feed Marcus down low, but Hayes is lacking a defender.
Yeah, they've got a double team on Marcus down there. We'll see how it works out.
Maybe 3. I mean, every player in blue is looking at Marcus right now. Inbound pass, Hayes to the rim, and he will hold it for the end of the third quarter. Henley unable to get a shot off, but they lead by 7, heading to the final frame up in front of the Mazama Vikings, 38-31. We'll be back with more Hornets basketball tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video on mybasin.com.
Thank you very much for your generosity.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Back inside the Hornets' nest for fourth quarter action between Henley and Mazama. Right now it is those Hornets who are up 38-31 over the Vikings. As we are just getting started here, it is Owen Harper with it, top of the key. Now to Chris Janney, bouncing it over to Luke Bennett. Now to Hayes in the far corner. Hayes lofting it across the court to Janney on the left elbow. It's a jumper that's no good. And Deshaun Carter collects the glass for the Vikings. Here's Kai Hunt. Hunt takes a screen going left. Beyond the arc, loses the dribble but recollects. Now going to take this Carter screen going right. Dribbling into a swarm of Hornets outside to Nanny. Nanny now to Hayden on the right wing. McCready giving him room, but dishes it to Hunt for a long triple, well short. Here's Chris Janney bringing it up for the Hornets. In the front court to Bennett. Bennett has his pocket picked. Loose ball collected by the Hornets. Out to McCready for a free throw line jump shot's no good. And here come the Vikings.
Henley going a little bit cold shooting right here to start the fourth.
Uloa Ford on the right side trying to loft it down to Carter. Ball goes out of bounds. Good defense by McCready to deny the ball inside. Hornets take over.
Yeah, more good team defense. Really good about helping each other out. And then, of course, pressuring the ball.
All right, here's Hayes. Dribbling past the defender. Tough shot is no good. And Uloa Ford with the rebound. Pass goes up to Nanny. Quick triples, no good. Nanny asking for a foul, but not going to get it. Here come the Hornets. Hayes, Euro step and a blocking foul. And that's going to go against the Vikings, or it should, no? I saw the VAR official call blocking. Was there an overrule on the near side?
I don't know, because I also saw a block, and it looked to me like it was a block. I was surprised.
Regardless, the Vikings have it, and it's 6:30 to go in the fourth. They trail by 7. Outside to Uloa Ford. Spins around, dribbling right. Tries to get a pass off, but it's taken away by Owen Harper. Harper, pedal to the metal, in front to Bennett. Loose ball collected down low by Chris Janney. Gets the bucket and the foul.
Sometimes a little luck doesn't hurt at all. I think that ball was kind of mishandled, and it rolled through the legs of about 3 players and then just ended up under the basket. Chris had it, made an easy layup, and drew the foul.
Those were Janney's first points of the evening. And a chance at a three-point play here, put his team back up by 10. Janney's free throw is good, 41-31, and Coach Hammond needs time. We'll take it with him. 6:13 to go in the fourth quarter. This is Hornets basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and HDMyBasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Welcome you back inside the Hornets' nest. The student section's trading jabs, and I was telling Matt this before the game. Skyline Conference student sections are a different breed. I remember going to Hidden Valley High School, another Skyline Conference team. Kevin, we really practiced these chants. We had prep rallies where we practiced.
Sure.
And we're seeing these student sections get into it now as we start the fourth quarter. 41-31, and Henley is in front.
If you want to be good, you got to practice. I mean, you got even the chants, you got to practice.
That's true. All right, the Vikings start with the ball. It'll be Kai Hunt bringing it up for Mazama. All right, here's Goza trying to dribble inside it to Hayden, off the glass, and a foul. Layup is good, a chance at one more.
Yeah, that's one of the few inside baskets we've seen from Mazama, and that came just at the right time for them. A chance at a three-point play.
Hayden, standing 6'5", is really the only size comp to Marcus McCready. And here in the fourth quarter, that bucket was Hayden's first points. Here's his free throw. No good. Rebound collected by Mazama. McCready blocks the putback. Didn't even have to jump. Shoves it ahead to Bennett. Now to Hayes. Inside the arc. Mid-range jumper. No good. And rebound is going to be collected by Mazama. 41-33. 5:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Hunt. Dribbling it in the near corner. Uloa Ford, bothered by Hayes. Loose ball collected by Hunt. Dishing it outside to Hayden. Still a loose ball. Vikings recollect. Good defense by the Hornets. Uloa Ford collects from the mid-range. His shot offline. McCready with the rebound. Ahead to Bennett. Now to Janney. Janney outside to Hayes. Hayes thought about a triple. Zipping it far side to Harper, who drives baseline. Trying to kick it outside to Hayes, but it's taken away by Melgoza. Now it's Uloa Ford. Bringing it into the front court. Pass it over to Hunt for three. No good. McCready with the rebound. Ahead to Chris Janney.
Another rebound for Marcus. Really doing a good job on the boards.
Janney takes a McCready screen, dribbles into a three-pointer. It's no good. Hard screen set by McCready, but a legal one nonetheless. Here come the Vikings. Hayes jumps the screen, but trips, trying to recover. Hunt for three. It's good.
Mazama hanging around. Cut the lead to 5.
4 made triples tonight for Kai Hunt. And it's 41-36. Here's Hayes to Bennett in the near corner. Marcus on the left block finds Harper cutting to the rim. His shot no good, but he recollects the rebound. Over to Marcus. His putback no good. Hammond is incensed. He wants a foul. Not going to get it. McCready with his hands up as well as the Vikings into the front court. Three-point shot, no good. And Harper with the rebound. Hornets slow down a little bit. Here's Chris Janney bringing it around top of the key to Hayes. Hammond still getting his 2 cents in on the far sideline. Pass comes to Janney. Janney underhand dish to Harper, top of the key. Finds Janney, now to McCready on the left elbow. Harper cutting to the rim. He is fouled.
That was a really good possession for Henley that time. A little bit of controversy on the call, have a little adversity, haven't had too much luck offensively the last minute or so. A nice patient possession with an easy look at the basket. That was just what Henley needed right there.
Harper with great timing, cutting to the rim there and makes his first free throw. Harper's second free throw is no good. Rebound found by Mazama. 42-36. 3:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Henley in front of Mazama. Here is Hunt. Henley softening up a little bit of a zone defense here. Tealoa Ford zipping it near corner to Nanny for three. It's no good. Vikings wrestle for the rebound. And they're asking for over and back. Hunt had set his feet over the stripe. Here's Beals for three, no good. Nanny with the rebound, gets the defender off his feet, and he's fouled.
And Marcus McCready is getting really frustrated down there. He feels like he's just not getting a call on either end of the court. And he picked up fourth.
I don't know if it feels like it, Kev. I think that's the matter.
Well, you may be right. I'm trying to remain neutral.
There's Gabe Nanny. I mean, look, no doubt. I mean, like we've said, McCready doesn't give himself any leeway to collect a call. He's not going to go out there and fake contact.
No.
He's going to go play tough, play through every play, but he's going to talk about it after the fact, and that's what he was trying to do after that play.
Yeah. But with 4 fouls, he needs to be careful. They need him these last 3 minutes.
Timeout called by Mazama. We'll take it with them. 42-37, Henley up by 5. 3:16 to go in the fourth quarter on 104.3 and 960 and mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
Fourth quarter action rolling on. The Hornets in front by 5. 42-37 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. It'll be the Henley Hornets who start with the basketball. And Hayes bringing it up the floor. Hayes to Bennett. Bennett top of the key to Janney. Janney on the far side to Hayes. Hayes back to Janney on the right wing. Now to Bennett. Bennett fakes a pass left and tries to get a pass off right, but Mazama takes it. Bennett's going to reach in and deny a transition bucket. Ultimately not that bad of a foul, but Mazama takes it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's actually a good foul because they had an easy layup down the floor, so pretty good foul there for the Hornets to give up.
That does put him at 4 for the quarter. One more puts Mazama in the bonus. And they've shot decent from the free throw line tonight. Right now trailing 5. Here's Hunt. Hunt over to Melgoza for 3. No good. And it's Hornets ball.
Mazama's not hesitating. If that three's open, they're taking it. And it's got them where they are right now. They trail by 5.
Hayes up the floor for the Hornets. Well beyond the arc, unguarded. Now over to Harper. Harper terminates the dribble, guarded well beyond the arc. Now to Janney on the far side. Janney inside the arc, back outside to Harper, who's driving to the rim, and Harper's going to get fouled on the drive. And so that'll be the third Mazama team foul.
Henley's had success when they've taken the ball to the rim. That was a good example there. And they'll get the ball under the basket.
Hayes inbounds to McCready in the near corner to Janney, top of the key. Janney to Bennett, off a McCready screen, back to Janney. Janney fires one over to Hayes, now to McCready. McCready getting hacked down low on the shot. No foul, but he finishes anyway.
He had a triple team that time. Was able to hook it up and in. Another nice shot from Marcus.
Up by 7, 44-37. Under 2 to go now in the fourth quarter. See if the Vikings continue to rely on three-point shooting. Here's Nanny from long range, too strong. Harper with the rebound. Hornets have an opportunity to slow things down just a little bit. Chris Janney into a 3, it's good! Hornets back up by 10 with 1:40 to go in the fourth. Off a bucket from Chris Janney. We're going to step aside and we'll finish up the fourth quarter when we come back on 104.3 and 960 Sports, Basin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
10-point lead for the Hornets, 47-37, that last triple from Chris Janney. You know, I got to say, I like the confidence to take that shot in crunch time. You're left alone. That's a big momentum swing, and he had the confidence.
Yeah, they had their chance to take some time off the clock, but he was feeling the three.
Vikings with it, again trailing by 10. Here's Melgoza over to Hunt. Hunt trying to dribble, find room beyond the arc. Step back three, no good. Hayden with the rebound, back outside to Hunt. He might try another triple, this time driving inside the paint. Right-handed layup too strong. Hayden with the rebound, his putback good. A minute 11 to go in the game. Henley up 47-39. Content to let Hayes bring it up the floor. Now they chase him off the perimeter, but a foul called, as it was Melgoza who reached in and fouled Hayes.
Yeah, McCready didn't start after the timeout here. He's coming, he's going to check in right now. I think he was tired. He's been having to work really hard down there.
He's been getting beat up in the paint, and again, he's coming off an injury and kind of still playing himself into shape. This will certainly help him get there. Montag heads to the bench.
That seems to be a good move. He got an extra minute or two of a break there. Now he's back in the game.
So the Hornets to inbound. Both teams sit at 4 team fouls, and by the way, that spelled the end of the night for Melgoza. Finished the evening with 3 points. Here's the Hornets. Under a minute to go in the game. Up by 8. Bennett with a shot close to the rim. It's good. And I believe Mazama called time. We'll stay here through this break. 49-39, the Hornets up by 10 with less than a minute to go, trying to close the door on what would be their first Skyline Conference win this season.
Yeah, last 2 possessions offensively really big for Henley. They got 3, then a 2, so that 5-point lead turned into 10, and now that we're under a minute or so, Henley's looking pretty good to win this game.
Henley, who's kind of struggled to close the door on teams in the past, doing a nice job tonight. Again, we talk a little bit about Tuesday's game against Hidden Valley. Aside from a long run from the Mustangs in the second quarter, Henley battled really close back into that game, faced some adversity late, let that one slip away. Tonight they're doing a good job of staying the course and trying to close out these Vikings at home. I certainly think these folks over there at Cowbell City helped them out tonight.
Yeah, it was nice to be at home. You know, Henley teams seem to really do play well at home. It's a tough place to play if you're driving in or even from across town. So, yeah, definitely Henley appreciates their home crowd.
Hornets heading back out onto the floor. The 5 out there for them. It's McCready, Harper, Hayes, Janney, and Bennett. 48.6 to go in the ball game, and Henley up by 10.
Mazama coaches probably telling their kids now, we need points in a hurry. We'll probably see some threes, get some quick shots up, and then foul when they're on defense.
Vikings to inbound, quick turnaround, jump shot is blocked. Oh, a foul. Well, it was a tough defensive play, or there was no foul. Did it just go out of bounds, still blocked me?
Yeah,
okay.
Just out of bounds, yep.
So McCready with a 3-point jump shot block. Vikings having to look for a quick 3, taking their time. Hunt well beyond the arc, finding Nanny for 3, no good. Bennett with the rebound, trying to get around the defender, and he's fouled. And he will be heading to the line with 34 seconds to go.
Hornets did a good job kind of keeping their composure. The game, it got close, it got a little rough. But actually both teams, I thought, played well down the stretch.
A lot of heart shown by both teams tonight. It's a rivalry game, and it certainly had the atmosphere of one in this gym. You know, Mazama, like we kind of talked about, they're 2-12, but they got out of bed for Henley today.
Yeah, they gave Henley everything that they wanted tonight, definitely.
Bennett 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Makes it 50-39. 30 seconds to go. Hunt gets a 3-point shot off and a foul. And he really just baited for that contact trying to go to the line.
Yeah, that will send him to the bench with his 5th foul.
Going to get a round of applause from the home supporters here. Marcus McCready, instrumental in his team's victory tonight. And, of course, we'll break down the scoring after the game concludes, but just quickly trying to do some math. My math says 15 points for Marcus. First free throw no good by Kai Hunt. That makes him 0 for 3 on the night so far.
Kai's had a good game shooting, especially from the outside.
Yeah, 4 made triples.
Yeah.
And, yeah, overall a good night. Just struggled from the penalty stripe. Misses 2 of 3. Montag gets fouled, so this one's going the other way. And Bryson will head to the line for 2.
We'll play the free throw game the rest of the way. Just 25 seconds to go. Mazama will try to trade some 3s for 2s here, but might not be enough time left.
Bryson misses his first. He's got 2 points, each of them coming in the first half. And we're going to have Deshaun Carter and Drake Peters check into the game for Mazama. Montag's second free throw's offline as well. Remains a 10-point game. Carter shoves one ahead to Uloa Ford, but Janney takes it away. Now ahead to Montag as the Hornets keep possession. Hayes beyond the arc, shot clock off. The Vikings wave the white flag, and it's the Hornets who prevail on home court on Military Appreciation Night to improve to 1-1 in conference play. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, no, I guess we have timeout called with 1:08 of a second. Oh, ball went out of bounds. God bless. Well, I guess that's what I get for calling the game a second early. Finally, the final buzzer sounds.
There we go.
50-40 the final score. We'll be back to break this one down for you. The Hornets out in front of the Vikings on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Final score tonight from inside the Hornets' nest. Henley in front of Mazama 50-40. Unofficially led in scoring by Marcus McCready with 14 points, 11 from Owen Harper tonight. 6 points from Luke Bennett, 5 from Aiden Hayes and Chris Janney. You had 2 points from Joe Janney and 1 from Lane Frank. Your leading scorers for the Hornets tonight. For the Vikings, 16 points from Kai Hunt, 10 from Gabe Nanny, 4 from Ryan Hayden, 3 from each Jordan Beals and Dominic Melgoza, and 2 for Marcos Uloa Ford, your leading scorers for the Vikings tonight. was back and forth for a majority of this game, but it was the Hornets who closed things out in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, I thought for the most part it was a pretty even game. I think that the turning point was in the second quarter when Henley really turned up the transition baskets. They got a lot of steals and a lot of easy hoops, and they were able to stretch that lead out a little bit. And then it was pretty much an even game in the second half, and that's how things ended up.
Again, Marcus tonight unofficially at 14 points. His season average is 24. They guarded him pretty well tonight.
Yeah, actually defensively both teams played pretty well. There weren't that many points, 50 to 40.
Yeah.
So you give up 40, that's a pretty good defensive night. The game was slowed down a little bit, and as we mentioned, in that third quarter, it was rough stuff down there. So not a lot of pretty basketball in that quarter. Things got rough, not a lot of scoring, and I think that's why we ended up at 50-40. Yeah.
Henley finishing this one up, improving to 1-1 in conference play. We'll tell you what that means for the rest of the Skyline Conference and maybe take a peek at some rankings as well as we continue your post-game coverage tonight. The Henley Hornets wrapping up a home victory over Mazama, 50-40. We'll be right back on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming.
Back a bit quicker on 104.3 and 960 Sports and HD video on mybasin.com. 50-40 the final score for the Henley Hornets, wrapping up a home victory over the Mazama Vikings. For Henley, they improve now to 8-6 overall in the season, 1-1 in conference play. The Vikings fall to 0-2 in conference play, 2-13 on the season. Take a look now at the Skyline Conference standings. The Hornets going to climb those rankings, but still Phoenix atop the league, 1-0, 11-3 overall. Hidden Valley also 1-0 in conference play. They're 8-6. Then we'll have the Henley Hornets at 1-1. They're 8-6 overall. The Klamath Union Pelicans getting their first Skyline Conference action tomorrow, but they're 5-8 overall. The Vikings round out that pack. Again, we talked about Klamath Union getting some action tomorrow. They will be hitting the road to Jackson County, taking on the Phoenix Pirates over there. And I believe if you want to keep track, they're going to have some coverage on the NFHS network if you want to watch that as well. Skyline Conference heating up. Kev, you and I kind of talked about it. It feels like a conference that is kind of up for grabs this year. In the past, Klamath Union has looked really good. Then Henley kind of came in. It feels like there's maybe a little bit of a vacuum in the Skyline Conference this year.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any one of those teams is necessarily an easy win. I mean, if Mazama shoots the three like that, they'll knock off some people. And we've seen Hidden Valley; they have a good club. So, yeah, the Skyline's going to be an interesting league this year. And I think that the goal for every team, including Henley, is you just want to get better. You want to try to play your best right at the end. That's always the key to March Madness, of course. It's easier said than done. But I think Henley's on a good path. Tonight was an important win. Anytime the Klamath teams play each other, you got to win that game, especially at home. And the Hornets did what they needed to do tonight.
They got a couple of non-league games coming up for the Hornets. Their next Skyline Conference matchup isn't until January 30th when they host the Klamath Union Pelicans. But in the meantime, on Tuesday, they will host Ashland. The Grizzlies coming to town. And then they are playing Cascade on the 27th at Hidden Valley High School. Kind of a neutral site game there against the Cougars. Could be an interesting matchup. Cascade has been a force as of recently. I believe they made the state championship game either last year or the year before. So a good squad coming out of there. That's what's up next for the Hornets. Meantime, for the Vikings, they have got about a week off. They are playing Klamath Union at Pell Court next Thursday. Again, you can find full schedules on osaa.org. This about does it for us tonight. Appreciate you being with us on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. I want to thank all the folks who've made tonight's broadcast possible, both head coaches from tonight's game, Ryan Millsap and his staff from the Mazama Vikings, athletic director and Henley head coach Luke Hammond, and Jesse Hamilton putting together a great military appreciation night. He's the principal here at Henley High School, and it was a great night for it, so special thanks to everybody there who's made tonight possible. One more time, the final score tonight, the Hornets finish off the Vikings 50-40. For Kevin Petrick, I'm Josh Eldredge saying so long from inside the Hornets' nest.